You're listening to a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.
We're here live from Ball State softball for game 1 of 3 between the Ball State Cardinals and the Kent State Golden Flashes, getting underway in just a matter of moments. Welcome to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. I'm Dylan Budd. To my right is LJ Shrieve. LJ, when we take a look at the standings at this point, there's just 2 series left in MAC play. Ball State right at the bottom at 4-17, eliminated from tournament contention. As for Kent, they're still fighting for one of those last spots.
Yeah, you just mentioned it. Ball State, the first team to be officially eliminated. And, yeah, you come into this weekend and it's like, oh, well, our season's already over. But they still got some stuff to play for. Obviously, senior weekend, they're celebrating that. They want to finish the season strong. And then you just said it. On the other side, well, Kent State has everything to play for. They are battling to be in that tournament spot. And so whether or not teams in, teams out, still softball left to be played, pride on the field, and it'll be interesting to see how both these teams duel it out.
That 6th seed, if the season ended today, would be the Western Michigan Broncos at 12-9, a team that Kent State will welcome to Kent, Ohio to close out the year. So certainly a lot of room for things to shake up. It's a little cloud cover today. We've got some rain starting to come down. I think rain is going to be off and on in this one, but it's an exciting one ahead. The starting pitcher for the Ball State Cardinals is going to be Bridie Murphy, a 4.7 ERA. This is the 79th inning pitched for her, and she's done quite a nice job this year, 46 strikeouts to 31 walks.
Yeah, Murphy can kind of do it all, and you know, you mentioned the rain coming down. I'm curious to see how she'll attack it, how aggressive she'll be on the mound. But you mentioned it. She knows what she's doing. She, as a senior, she's been here, done that. She's ready to go out and perform today, and she's experienced in the elements. And so I think that's a wise move from the coaching staff of the Cardinals to throw her out there. And I'm sure Kent State's ready to attack it. And it'll be curious. I'm curious, you know, is it going to be an offense or defensive game with these elements? It kind of can go either way.
The rain will certainly play a factor, but the wind is blowing out at this point, hence the start for Bridie Murphy. If it was coming in, the implication would be that Brinkley Keita would get the start on the circle. Instead, for Kent State, it's their number 1 option, Riley Miller, the true freshman from Greensburg, Pennsylvania. She's the number 1 option. She's still on a bit of a ringer, but starting to regress back to her mean. She's given up a lot of runs recently, 12 against Northern Illinois, 10 against Ohio, and then 13 in the second one against the Bobcats.
Yeah, today's a great opportunity for her to kind of bounce back. You said she's been strong all season long. She has 59 strikeouts, and so it's not like she can't come in and, you know, get back to that earlier season form. And I love the confidence that Kent State's coaching staff has given her, you know, even through the struggles, continuing to play her, continuing to start her. And so she knows it's a big opportunity on the bubble for her team to continue to have a chance to advance to, you know, the tournament. And freshman, new territory. But regardless, I think she's ready for the moment.
The 1 and 2 options at the circle for the Golden Flashes, both true freshmen. An interesting decision from this Flashes coaching staff. But one way or another, Riley Miller leads this team in ERA, wins, innings pitched, strikeouts, appearances, games started, is least in walks out of the 3 for the Flashes.
Yeah, and another thing that jumps off the stat sheet is, you know, only 7 home runs for a freshman. That's pretty strong. And coming in here, you said the wind's blowing out, and so will the bats be hot for either team? We shall see, but only giving up 7 on the season. I don't expect the Cardinals to be flying them out of here, even though the wind is to their back right now.
Miller individually has the 5th most innings pitched across arms around the MAC. When it comes to team stats and you look in the offensive department, it's pretty much the bottom half in every department. The one thing that jumps off the page for Kent State, they're 3rd as a team in stolen bases, and much of that is from their very fast and speedy outfielders, Arlen Nogue, Ashlyn Porter, and Brooke Aberly.
Yeah, Ashlyn Porter can kind of do it all. She hits the ball very well. She's great at getting on base, but then like you just said, once she's on base, that's, you know, it's kind of the least of your concerns. You got to be aware of where she's going, and third in stolen bases. She's a big part of that.
Nogue paces the MAC in stolen bases and is 7th in the nation in that department. It's also 7th in triples in the nation at this point. Her 27 on the year breaks a single-season program record. She reached that accomplishment just a few days ago in one of their midweek games against Youngstown State. Also is a winner of the MAC Player of the Week honor from March 17th. And then earlier this month, she got her 100th career hit. Big props to her. She has been on a tear this year. We're going to step aside momentarily as starting lineups are announced and the national anthem will play. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive car dock maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
Hey Cardinal fans, show your pride wherever you go with the Ball State Financial Debit Card, now featuring your favorite mascot, Charlie Cardinal. It's the perfect card for students, alumni, and lifelong fans, letting you show your Cardinal spirit with every purchase you make. And with Ball State Financial, you'll get all the convenience, security, and hometown service you deserve from people who love this community as much as you do. Explore the card in your hometown credit union at fcfcu.com/chirp. Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union. Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
Hey Cardinal fans, this is Connor Onion, play-by-play broadcaster with Fox Sports, and I'm a proud SportsLink alum. You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. Chirp, chirp.
You're listening to SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Your home for live Ball State sports.
National anthem just finished here in Muncie, Indiana. Ball State getting ready to take on Kent State in game 1 of 3. It gives us a chance to look at starting lineups, beginning with the visiting Golden Flashes. At the first spot, it's the speedy center fielder Arlen Nogue. Then batting second is the second baseman Bryn Libler. In the 3-hole, it's Callie Slawless. And then batting cleanup, Megan Clearhout, one of the corner infielders on first. Another outfielder in the 5-hole, it's Ashlyn Porter. The other corner infielder batting 6th will be Gabby Quinn. The designated player is batting 7th, Leilani Johnson. Shortstop for the Flashes will be Alex Trevina. And then rounding out the lineup is the left fielder, Brooke Aberly. As for the Ball State Cardinals, they begin with their center fielder as well, Paige Kelly. Then second is the designated player and pitcher, Ella Whitney, batting .341 on the year. At the third spot, it's Lindsay DeRoick, the first baseman, who leads this team in batting average at .352. Batting cleanup is the third baseman, Skylin Pogue. We've seen her all around the infield and behind the backstop. The 5-hole is the shortstop, Megan Ramos, the only player on either side below the Mendoza line at 103. Batting 6 will be Ava Colin, one of the middle infielders. She stands at second. Batting 7th, Haley Urban, one of the seniors on this Cardinal squad. She's in right. And then rounding out the order, Allie Noble will be behind the backstop. and Ashley Lovett rounds it out in left field. First pitch about to be underway. Bridie Murphy staring down Erilyn Nogue. First offering in there for strike one. No face mask for Bridie Murphy at this point, but helmet donned by the junior Nogue. No masks across the infield for the Cardinals. Kicks and deals. Nogue shows bunt. The play is made not in time. There was an exchange from Pogue to DeRoque, but Erilyn Nogue already showing off some speed.
Yeah, Pogue just a little bit behind on that throw right there and the approach. Unable to get it to first base in time. A nice clean bunt to start the game for Kent State.
You got to think that some of the game plan around her is bring your infielders in because she has the threat of bunting. Now that she's on base, you got to worry about her taking off for second. In the 2 spot, it'll be Bryn Libler from Pendleton, Illinois. She's kind of a super utility on this roster. She's pitched once. Her first pitch, taking off is Nogue. The throw to Ramos, not in time. Yet another stolen base for Erilyn Nogue.
We talked about it before this one started. No surprise right there. And the bunt attempt, she just took off. No chance that the Cardinals were going to get that there in time.
Murphy's next exchange to Libler outside. But Libler's one of these players that is really a super utility. She's listed as such on the roster. Today she's playing second. We've seen her around the infield, spent some time in the outfield, and even pitched in their last game. Murphy's next offering in there for a strike, and she's ahead at 1-2.
You talk about an athlete right there, being able to play at so many different positions, even pitch like you just said. Quite impressive.
Libler stands in the lefty batter's box against Bridie Murphy. Nogue at second. The 1-2 outside, and the count is evened up. So 2-2 to the Pendleton senior. This could be an opportunity for her 7th sacrifice bunt of the year. She is 5th in the MAC in that department. The 2-2 from Murphy. Slapped into right center. Tracking it down is Paige Kelly. Nogue tags up. The throw is to Ramos, and there's no chance to get there at third. It's the first out, but Nogue's at third and a runner in great scoring position already.
Kent State off to a solid start. Obviously, you'd like to get on base right there, but at the end of the day, advancing your speedster all the way. Nogue now on third base in scoring position, as you said.
So here comes Callie Shawless. She's been trading off with Leilani Johnson between catching and being the designated player. She watches strike one go by. She leads this team in RBIs, hoping to get yet another one here. Murphy says yes. The Rays in fire. Couldn't catch the corner, it's 1-1. Shawless, the only player, or leads this team in OPS rather, with 1.003. This one, PFP right to Murphy. Nogue will stay at third, but the throw to DeRoque is not in time from Megan Ramos. Just like that, runners on the corners on an infield hit.
That one just right through the glove of Murphy, unable to make the play. The Cardinal defense had an opportunity right there to put 2 outs up on the scoreboard. Kent State gets one right through and now on both corners.
And up comes your cleanup batter, Megan Clairhout from Canton, Michigan. Her first pitch. Runner goes from first. The throw is not in time. Looked like there was murmurs of a double steal, but Nogue stayed on third after Colin was there to intercept.
Good patience right there from the coaching staff, just letting the game come to them and trusting whoever is in the batter's box.
So now Slawless is on second. Nogue on third. 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. This one is lifted high. Won't get out of the infield. Ramos makes the grab, and 2 are now gone.
Good opportunity right here for the Cardinals, battling as things haven't necessarily gone their way. They've had a couple opportunities that they just haven't been able to take full advantage of. 2 outs on the scoreboard. An opportunity to get out of this one with 0.
So Shawless and Clearhout leading this team in RBIs, but up comes Ashlyn Porter, who leads this team in batting average and hits. Her first pitch down, but caught the corner for a strike.
Porter hitting at .394, so solid for Kent State all year long.
She's got 50 hits on this squad. The count is evened up at 1-1. Porter an OPS of .887. Out of the 44 games played, she started in 43 of them. This one outside, and for the first time today, Bridie Murphy behind in the count.
It does look like, these ones that have just been outside of the zone. She knows who she's going up against here, a big-time hitter.
This one, a chopper through the glove of Ava Colin. The throw is made from Urban, but two runners are going to score. And advancing to third is Ashlyn Porter. It's a 2 RBI double, and just like that, Kent State with an early lead. Nogue came in from third, and Shawless flew into the base from second.
Porter splits it right between the first base and second base. Right in the sweet spot where neither of them were able to get it. And just the overthrow allows for Kent State to just walk across that plate.
And great velocity on that. It came up to Haley Urban quickly and caused some panic. First pitch from Murphy, a comebacker that heads over us in the press box. So at this point for Ball State, already behind, haven't had a chance to bat. Not only do you have to shut the door, but you got to come back in this first one. And that's not how you do it. Murphy's offering to Gabby Quinn, plunks her on the shoulder, and now two runners are on once more. There's our first reminder of returning foul balls. We just had one that sailed over our heads and went into the parking lot. Not necessarily a souvenir.
No, it is not. I can't even imagine, on that last one, just getting hit right there. Taking one for the team. Gonna feel that one tomorrow.
Here comes the junior Leilani Johnson. She's had hits in 3 straight games, but before then, a drought from March 25th to April 17th. Murphy's first offering is inside for ball 1. Johnson squats back into the box. Murphy, the rotation. Dropped ball from Noble. The throw to third, not in time, and past Skyland Pogue. Now we're in a pickle for the runner on third. That's Ashlyn Porter. Running it down, and the tag is made from Ramos. In anticlimactic fashion, that'll be the third out.
Ball State, after the error, able to keep it within that third base and home plate line and just patient. They were so patient right there, just allowed Kent State to kind of come to them. And yes, they still give up 2, but in a way, escape right there with, a runner on second, runner on third, and a lot of momentum really behind Kent State's offense. The Cardinals, they're going to need to find some momentum themselves here.
And for the first time today, we're going to see Riley Miller in just a moment. Due up for Ball State, Paige Kelly, Ella Whitney, and Lindsay DeRoic. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. GameBridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
Ranked #1 in the nation by the Broadcast Education Association. This is Ball State SportsLink with SportsLink Digital Radio.
Bottom of the first about to be underway between Ball State and Kent State. In the first half inning, the Flashes were able to score 2 off of a 2 RBI double by the right fielder Ashlyn Porter. That said, she was caught on the base paths for the final out. The first batter for the Cardinals will be Paige Kelly, batting .290 on the year. For the first time, we see Riley Miller, the Golden Flash ace on the circle. Miller, the best ERA out of these Flashes pitchers. She gets the true freshman, Paige Kelly, who slap hits it right to Trevina. The exchange to clear out is good. One pitch, one out on a 6-3 grounder.
Yeah, that's exactly how Kent State wanted to start this one right here. Just super clean and efficient defensively right there. No errors, just stepping right up to the ball and making the play. Ball State unable to get to first in time.
So at the 2-hole is Ella Whitney, the designated player. She can hit, she can pitch, she can do just about everything. 3-time MAC Pitcher of the Week. Earlier in the year, she was a D1 Mid-Major Player of the Week. She bat .471, had 3 homers, 12 RBIs, and then got 2 wins in 11 pitches over the weekend.
Not too bad. Not too bad, Dylan.
Certainly a productive player, and one of the most productive on this Cardinal 9. She leads this team in RBI, total bases, home runs, extra base hits. The list goes on. It's 2-0 between Miller and Whitney. The third one down low, and it's a 3-0 count. LJ, early circumstance here. You're down 2, a 3-0 to your best batter. Are you giving her the green light?
Oh, man, you know, I think you do. You kind of know what's coming here.
Here it comes, the 3-0, green lit. It'll get into right center. Does it get over the wall? There it is, a 3-0 blast from Ella Whitney. Talk about a green light. She sends it out into the green grass between softball and baseball stadiums. Talk about a way to get back into this one. There's some concern now from Erilyn Nogue. She took a pretty hard collision up against that wall trying to field it. Don't think she really knew where she was, and that's the effect of not really having a warning track that you can feel, as this field is all turf.
Yeah, that's a great point to bring up, and something that, you know, not every player is used to, is that the turf field. And so not being used to it does cause some unfamiliarity in the outfield, and obviously no one wants to see something like that happen. Hopefully everything is all good. But back to that hit, you said, do they get the green light? And I think it's you know, you'll see people just kind of take it because you're so ahead on the count. But right there, just letting your athlete go after it and make a play, sending it out, the wind to her back, just carrying that one out. And you mentioned it. The Cardinals needed that one pretty bad to regain some momentum here in this one, as it's still early.
And considering the situation that they're in, even in the big picture, eliminated from playoff contention, you're playing for momentum to bring into next year. How about that? Why not on a 3-0? There's nothing to lose. So after all the charades, it'll be Lindsay DeRoick to stand in. Righty on righty. She squares off against Miller. The first pitch breaks outside, and it's 1-0.
Miller giving up only her 8th home run on the season, and so those don't happen often. You know, that is not something. She's still in single digits as a freshman. That's quite impressive, and so just a nod also to the technique, skill, and also just raw athleticism, you know, for Whitney.
She gets one more in to even up the count at 1-1. Grace Gray already getting some action in the bullpen after some early concerns from Bridie Murphy. Here's the 1-1 from Miller. Big swing and a miss from DeRoick. Wanted it all, got none of it. It's 1-2.
DeRoick hitting at .352, and so a strong hitter in that third spot.
The 1-2. She waits on the breaker, but a little too much, out of play down the first base line. DeRoick spent 3 years at Queens before coming to Ball State. So, only familiar with the Cardinals in the MEVA conference. Here comes the 1-2. Changes DeRoick's eye level. It's a high fastball, but no bite. The 2-2 from Miller to DeRook. The swinging bunt, making the play is Quinn. She can't even get the ball to clear out. A strange infield single for Lindsay DeRook.
You just mentioned it. Quinn didn't even get that one out of her hands, and so looked like she knew that DeRook was going to get there and beat her to it, just holding off, not risking anything. We've seen that a couple times where the ball's been out of play, and so it's hard to get back, and you lose some momentum there, and better safe than sorry.
The first pitch to Skyland Pogue out of play again down this right line. Running on first will be Lindsay DeRook. She had been hitless in 8 of her last 10, so one way or another, good to see her back on the bases. Pogue, a redshirt junior, she comes here after 3 years as an Iowa Hawkeye. So here comes the 0-1. Thought about taking off was DeRook. Do they get a chance to turn 2? Yes. A double play to end the inning. A 6-4-3 will get it done, but not before a shot from Ella Whitney to flip this game on its head. It's 2-1 Kent State. Second inning just about to be underway. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
So an interesting development here from Ball State softball. It looked like Skyland Pogue had grounded into a double play. DeRook out at second and then Pogue out at first. But the question is whether the throw from Libler made it to clear out on first in time. LJ, did you see anything that could bring some insight?
You know, D-Bud, I think they had it right. I think Brian Howard has the right call there. I think she is going to stay out, but you never know. When you get a look, when these umpires get a look and it's slowed down, and you can really see, when exactly is that ball entering the first base mitt. And so regardless, it was a clean, good play from Kent State's defense. That double play is harder to come by in softball, and so that's it was clean, it was smooth, but regardless, we'll see if it stands. Pogue was flying in. Ramos getting ready, hoping that the call is overturned so she can get her opportunity in the batter's box.
It was a close call. You could certainly argue for one way or another. A little too close, says Coach Pena. So our officials come back out. Decision awaiting. Friends in blue have one more conversation. The anticipation killing us, and here's the call. After review, Skyland Pogue is safe. The flashes can't turn 2. So rather than a double play, it'll be a fielder's choice that puts DeRook out at second and a chance for Megan Ramos to step in with 2 gone. Megan Ramos, we alluded to it earlier in the broadcast, at this point batting 103, the only Cardinal below 200. She swings and misses at the first offering. She's been in and out of the starting lineup, but started against the Miami Redhawks in that weekend series. The 0-1 couldn't catch the outside. It'll be 1-1 now.
Yeah, that one looked like it was right on the edge right there. Another great pitch, trying to get way up in the count, unable to do so. Knotted up at 1-1. Good patience, though, after that first strike there was Ramos.
And on these offerings, it's now 2-1. Shawless keeps popping back up in the idea that Pogue is threatening to steal. Pogue, just one with 4 bags stolen on the year. This one tapped right to Quinn. The exchange to clear out. This time it's in there with no conversation, and that's going to end the inning. Kent State leads Ball State 2-1 after 1 inning of play. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Today we have 2 very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So we could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. This is Jared Matheny with Summit City Sports and Indiana Tech Athletics, a proud SportsLink alum. Go Cards!
Ranked number 1 in the nation by the Broadcast Education Association. This is Ball State SportsLink with SportsLink Digital Radio.
So at the top of the second, it'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Flashes. Leilani Johnson, Alex Trevina, and Brooke Aberly. Johnson digs in for her second time today after Ashlyn Porter was caught stealing to end the half inning. At this point, Bridie Murphy already given up 2 runs in 1 inning of play. You got to hope that she can get into rhythm at this point. The first pitch of the second inning. Murphy to Johnson, righty on righty. This one tapped in foul territory. Noble almost made a diving extension on it, but couldn't get the leather on top.
So close right there. Able to get out of her stance quick. Just that ball went a little too far, a little out of her reach. Great effort, though, from the Cardinals to try and get a quick out.
Excellent pop time from Noble. The 1-0 from Murphy. This time, did it plunk the batter Johnson? It might have gone behind her on that offering, but looked like it went behind Johnson. Great job from Noble to even get a glove on it. So Murphy gets back in rhythm. A strike right down the middle with a little bit of break. It's 1-2.
That's exactly what she needed right there. A little confidence booster, as she really has been all over the place from the mound.
Murphy has just 2 wild pitches on the year. Trying to put it away right here. A comebacker that heads right our way, but brought back by the protective netting. We stay alive at 1-2.
Wind starting to move around a little bit. It's not just directly out. It's moving left to right here from our point of view, and so the wind just continuing to be a factor today.
Grace Gray still in the pen. A slow dribbler picked up by Pogue, and the split from Daruk, enough to get the first out.
The Cardinals get out of there as that was a battle right there in the batter's box, but Johnson unable to land on first, and we'll head back to the dugout.
Up next is Alex Trevina, the true freshman. We've seen a little bit of growing pains with her recently. She's second in the MAC in errors on the year, half of them in this month. And in the batter's box, she's 1 for her last 11. She watches strike 1 go by.
You know, when you're a true freshman and you're a shortstop, there's going to be some mistakes made, and it's not the easiest to step into that position. But you talk about the struggle, she's also in the lineup for a reason, and she starts for a reason. You know, she's a very raw, good talent that Kent State has and is utilizing to their best effort.
Coach O'Donnell showing trust. The 1-1, beautiful break from Murphy, and she's back ahead at 1-2.
This inning a lot stronger so far. Even though there's just 1 out, Murphy Had that one wild pitch, but other than that, has looked very consistent and calm.
Trevinia's been threatening the bunt. Instead, a short hop to Bridie Murphy and another grounder to DeRook. Gets the second one out, and we're at the 9-hole Brooke Aberly.
Murphy wasn't able to get the first ball that was hit her way in the first inning. That time scoops it up after kind of juggling it with between the mitt and her right hand, but nevertheless able to get it to first base in time, 1 out away from a scoreless inning for the Cardinals.
So up next, it's Brooke Aberly. Her first pitch is chopped foul. And Aberly, as we've seen more and more in diamond sports, in almost that double leadoff role. She uses her speed as a weapon, and then you've got multiple people that can cause chaos on the base paths when you're back to the top of your order. Aberly threatens bunt, pulls back the 0-1 in there for strike 2.
She did that on the first pitch as well, showed bunt and pulled back. Obviously, it was fouled off on the first pitch of the at-bat. She's showing bunt again, down 0-2.
Could be a good chance for Murphy to get her first strikeout. Instead, lined right past the glove of Megan Ramos. It is a game of inches, and it was right there.
Man, Deba, that one might even have been centimeters. Right over the glove. A perfect spot. Outfield scoops it up, holds her at first, but nevertheless keeping the inning alive for Kent State. A big-time play there in the 9-hole.
And you would have really wanted to put it away at this point because now you've got Erilyn Nogue back in the plate. She singled off of a bunt in her first plate appearance and ended up scoring. Strike 1 for her. Aberly threatened to steal, but it was Noble that popped up and held her there. An 0-1 count to Nogue. This one's outside, wanted the chase, couldn't get it. Nogue spent 2 years at Bowling Green before coming here, and last year on the second team All-MAC. She also was on the All-Freshman team 2 years before. Murphy calls for a timeout, dusts herself off, and is back in the circle. It's 1-1 to Erilyn Nogue. A 2-1 ball game. Kent State leads Ball State. On first is Aberly. This one hit high and deep by Nogue, but back there is Paige Kelly for out number 3. Wanted it to be 3 up, 3 down. Instead, 4 down. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. GameBridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. This is Hadassah Harris with CBS's WLFI 18, a proud SportsLink alum. Chirp, chirp.
Bottom of the second about to be underway. Kent State leads Ball State 2-1. SportsLink Digital Radio. Dylan Budd with LJ Shrieve alongside Riley Miller. 17 pitches in the first inning. She's got the 6, 7, 8 batters due up. Ava Colin, Haley Urban, and Allie Noble.
Gets out of the first, only allowing that one home run that was skied out in between center and right field. And so has some momentum, still has the lead, and an opportunity to keep the lead getting out of the second and keep it scoreless between both sides.
First pitch from Miller down low, and Colin immediately ahead. Since March 7th, it's been quite the struggle for her. She's had just one hit. She's 1 for 16 in that time, and she's bounced in and out of the starting lineup. It's proven to be good enough to be in the lineup, but also could be one of these players that can be a pinch runner or defensive replacement. The 1-1 from Miller. Low and inside to make it 2-1. Infielders converge and converse with Miller. Grace Gray no longer in the bullpen after Murphy showing a confident second inning. Miller gets back into it, thought it was a strike. Instead, it's not called by the home plate umpire, Gary Wells. It'll be 3-1.
Wells just sees that one a little high. Miller needs a K right here.
Here comes the 3-1. This one tapped right to Trevina, and Clairhout's there to make the grab. That's out number 1.
Another clean play by the infield for Kent State in their baby blue pants with the navy blue jersey. It's a fun combo right there.
And as for Ball State, it's their white and red uniforms, red pinstripes. It's an interesting one for sure. So up comes Haley Urban, the senior right fielder. Her first pitch fouled back. She's a homer from Columbia City, Indiana. Former MAC Player of the Week nod. One of the players on this softball leadership council. They don't have captains, but there's a leadership council. The 0-1 to Urban. Miller trying to pace this at-bat very quickly. That one's low, and he evens up the count.
Anytime I hear like a council, I just immediately like picture the Jedi Council in those episodes 1, 2, 3. But maybe that's how they're like. The softball council just sitting all around conversing.
Haley Urban lines it right into the glove of Gabby Quinn for out number 2.
What a catch right there. That one was coming with some speed. And if that one got down, that could have potentially turned 2, you know.
They call it the hot corner for a reason. So Allie Noble in the 8-hole comes in and sees strike 1. But I'm glad you mentioned the Jedi Council. I think with Haley Urban, if you think of all the people on the council, you've got Yoda, you've got Mace Windu, you've got Obi-Wan Kenobi. Did you have a favorite Jedi growing up, LJ?
Man, D-Bud, that's a tough one. It was probably Anakin. I do love Anakin Skywalker. Yeah, that's a tough one to choose from. And that last at bat, man, that was tough right there. Drops right in front of the center fielder, gets down and keeps Ball State alive here with 2 outs. A nice single.
It's a 2-out bloop single by Allie Noble. And it brings up the 9-hole hitter, Ashley Lovett. She's one of the few 4-year seniors on this squad. Haley Urban and Jess Hoffman as well.
Rare to come by in today's age of college athletics. So unique.
Ball 2 to Lovett. The throwback from Shawless not in time.
Shawless just so aware behind the home plate, ready to make plays and pop up at any given moment.
The 2-0 to Lovett. This one plunks her right on the hip. Just like that, with 2 runners, we go back to the top of the order.
The Cardinals battling through this one. We mentioned it early. 2 outs, then that bloop single, and then getting hit. Finding some momentum, trying to even this one up or even get a look at taking the lead. 1 bag away from scoring position for the Cardinals.
So now we're back up to Paige Kelly. In her first pitch she saw, it was a grounder right to the shortstop, Trevina. She looks to do the same again, trying for that slap hit.
She's got a nice, fun bat right there. Some blue tape with pink and orange sunset-esque color.
It's quite the gradient. The 1-0. Kelly didn't go around. It's a strike. Shawless is getting ready to try and pick off the runner on second, Noble. Unsuccessfully. Noble just 1 stolen bag this year. Ashley Lovett with 1 as well. Here comes the slap hit. Hit right to Libler. And the exchange to Clairhout is going to end the second inning. It's still a 2-1 ball game here in Muncie, Indiana. Kent State leads Ball State. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
From Trivia Night at Brothers and Tater Tots at Roots.
Never miss a Ball State game with SportsLink Digital.
This broadcast is presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. For your next new or pre-owned vehicle, drop by our showroom at the corners of McGalliard and Morrison Roads, or check out the website victorymuncie.com. Again, victorymuncie.com. Top of the third about to be underway. Kent State leads Ball State 2-1 in game 1 of 3. Here from Muncie, Indiana, Bridie Murphy faces the 2-3-4 of the Flash's order, Bryn Libler, Callie Shawless, and Megan Clairhout. 34 pitches at this point for number 34. She'll square off against the second baseman, Libler. She flew out to center in her first plate appearance.
After that shaky first inning, Murphy finding her stride and rhythm. In inning number 2, the Cardinals keeping her out there.
So here comes the first pitch. Was able to paint the corner on the breaker. Darted arm side, and it's 0-1.
It is so impressive. Any softball pitch that I watch, it just blows my mind every time how they can get that ball all the way around and then in a small little zone. That quite an impressive art.
The spin on it is incredible. 1-1 now to Bryn Libler. I believe the fastest pitch in softball history was 66 miles an hour. So the count now ahead in Murphy's favor at 1-2. But yes, it's 66 in comparison to the counterpart of baseball where you might see upper 90s, low hundreds. But you got to think about the fact that the path to the circle of the plate is shorter, and with the added break, still very difficult for a hitter.
Extremely difficult. It's its own thing. You can't really compare it, to its cousin over there in baseball. But you mentioned the speed difference, but also the important fact of how much closer the circle is than the mound.
The 1-2 blasted down the first base line, but into the Flash's bullpen foul. Some action now in the Cardinals bullpen as Bridie Murphy stares down the 1-2. This one put just enough on it. No, foul again. She's getting great contact, but jumping on it too early.
Getting closer and closer to that line, though. That first one was light years away from being in play. That one definitely closer, battling it in the box.
So back in the pen, it's Grace Gray, the freshman of the Cardinals. We play on. The 1-2 changes the eye level. Couldn't get the chase. And it's 2-2 to Libler. Last year, she's coming off the anniversary of a MAC Player of the Week award on April 22nd, 2025. She lifts one into left. Lovett heads back and makes the grab for the first out.
A battle right there with Murphy, but she ends up getting some help from the outfield. Skied one up and gets out number 1. That's what you want to see if you're in the Cardinal bullpen.
With the unpredictable wind, it was tough for Lovett to predict and kind of get her feet under her, but great contact from Libler nonetheless. She had a line out to center and then flew one out opposite field to left in that one. We're back at the 3-hole with Callie Shawless, the 5'8" freshman from Greene, Ohio. Her first pitch, Murphy's can't catch the outside. It's 1-0.
But it's always interesting to learn why players wear the numbers that they do. 22 is on the back of Shawless, and she wears that because that is her mom and her lucky number. Nothing too crazy or special, but a fun little tidbit rather than just choosing a number you think's cool.
It's a nice number. Has a good vibe to it.
22 is a good one.
I don't know about you. Murphy's third pitch, too high, and it's 2-1. Shawless, a defensive mainstay for Kent State. The second least passed balls across the MAC, just 13 on the year. She watches strike 2 go by. She's got hits in 5 straight games, including this one after a liner right to Bridie Murphy that she couldn't collect in the first. Still no strikeouts for Bridie Murphy. Can she change that? Too low, and the count is full. So the biggest pitch to this point of Bridie Murphy's start, and Grace Gray starting to get warm in the pen. Murphy, a check of the glove, and here comes the payoff. Dribbled to DeRook before it rolled foul. That'll be the second one gone. Instead, it's ruled foul by that first base umpire, Brian Howard, and we play on. It was a close one, dancing on the line. So here comes the 3-2. This one right to Ava Cullen. She didn't even have to move.
Nice and convenient right there at the second base position. Being able to just kind of watch that ball fly into your glove is a nice feeling. And I'm sure Murphy's excited to see that one out away. But like you said, still looking for her first strikeout of today's game.
She likely won't do it against this next batter, Megan Clairhout. The first pitch, right back to Murphy. She fields it and transfers to DeRook for the third out. Due up for Ball State, they're 2-3-4. Ella Whitney, who homered in her first AB, Lindsay DeRook, and Skyland Pogue. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paintwork on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
The two starters in this one, Bridie Murphy and Riley Miller, going toe-to-toe to this point. 2 innings pitched, 3 hits for Murphy, and 1 run allowed, but it's off the bat of this next batter, Ella Whitney.
Ella Whitney, in her last at-bat, you mentioned it before the break, hit that homer, and that is the only thing on the scoreboard for the Cardinals thus far. Her 12th home run of the year, looking for her second of the game.
First pitch to her is low for ball 1. She's certainly, especially after the loss of Michaela Timmons to graduation, Whitney has become the most relied on bat. It's hoped to be the spark plug all year long, and for the most part, she's delivered in that front. Here comes the next pitch, down low again for ball 2.
In today's lineup, the only one that, or not the only one, well, Whitney has 11, but then right behind her, D-Rook has only 3, and she is second in today's lineup. And so, you mentioned it, Whitney heavily relied on.
She has another one deep into right center. Back at the track, it's gone! Porter can only watch, and it's a 2-0 ball game after 2 shots from Ella Whitney. So just like that, we're back to a 0-0 ball game. 2 times the championship belt for Whitney.
So much behind that swing, Dylan. Sending that one. This one a little more right than the last. And so Kent State unable to find an answer. Miller has met her match.
So next up is Lindsay DeRook. Her first swing, she hacks, but can't connect. It's 0-1. DeRook in her first plate appearance made it to first on a swinging bunt, but was caught out at second after Skyland Pogue's grounder. The 0-1 from Riley Miller. Foul down the first base line by Lindsay DeRook, but to this point, Miller's had quite the excellent game. It's just that Ella Whitney has been her nightmare.
You just said it. Whitney's the only one that, has scored for the Cardinals tonight. No one's been on today, no one's been on base when she sends them out of play, and so it's 2-2. Miller has forced everyone else to struggle, but the Cardinals trying to get those bats hot.
DeRook over the head of Aberly. She's going to try for 2, slides in safely, and a double for Lindsay DeRook. Singled in the first, doubled in the second, and a runner in scoring position with no gone for Skyland Pogue.
There it is, that momentum for the Cardinals that they have been searching for.
If you're Coach O'Donnell, now the decision begins of if you get somebody warm in the pen, you try and have a mound meeting with your pitcher Miller just to keep her on her game. Replacing DeRook will be the pinch runner Peyton Fox. We've seen her in that spot all year long, and just like that, 2 arms now in the pen for the Golden Flashes. Both Meadow Ferry and Alina Hilliard will get warmed up. Hilliard a lefty, Ferry a righty. Just depends on how far down this order Miller can get. First things first, she faces off against Skyland Pogue. Pogue, a member of the Northwoods League this past summer, she spent time with the Mankato Habaneros. A dribbler right to Gabby Quinn. The run from Fox to third, she makes it there safely. So Fox to third off the ground out from Skyland Pogue.
Unable to get that one there in time, but again, the infield for Kent State doing their job, getting the outs when needed. No errors so far from this infield and just clean, making plays. But the Cardinals in scoring position.
So Megan Ramos, with just 2 RBIs on the year, has a chance to get her third. The infield is in. First pitch, a swing and a miss. I'm very interested in the decision to bring out Lindsay DeRook and already have a pinch runner in Peyton Fox. But late in the year, I suppose, give some of your younger players more reps. Here comes the 0-1, tapped foul off the backstop and into the glove of Claire Hout off the bounce. So 2 strikes, 1 out for Megan Ramos. The runner on third, Peyton Fox. Corner infield stays in, waiting for a grounder. Here comes the pitch outside, no chase. It's 1-2. Two up next for the Flashes, Ashlyn Porter, Gabby Quinn, and Leilani Johnson. The 1-2, again tried for the outside, couldn't land, it's 2-2. Ramos at this point, with runners on, batting .080, 8% rate. Could be a chance to change that here. The 0-2, swing and a miss, and a good time for the first strikeout of Riley Miller's day. It's the first strikeout across both sides.
Crazy that we are in the bottom of the third, and that is the first strikeout. And you'd think it'd be a higher scoring affair than 2-2 with that stat, but infield's doing their job.
So Ava Colon will dig in for her second time. She grounded out to the shortstop Trevina in her last AB. Poland really loading up in her stance, shifting her weight. This one tapped in no man's land between the infield and outfield, but an excellent catch rolling back from Libler is going to end the inning.
Great communication between the two there. That's always a dangerous one where it's headed towards right. The second base is running over there to make the play. Kent State, way to get out of that one right there with the Cardinals, who had runner on scoring position.
Peyton Fox is left stranded, but another homer from Ella Whitney ties us up at 2-2. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
From the bell tower to your smartphone, anywhere in the world.
Never miss Ball State Sports with SportsLink Digital.
Returning to her spot in the corner infield is Lindsay DeRook after being replaced by Peyton Fox. The latter was left stranded, but Ella Whitney tied us up at 2-2. Bridie Murphy will face the 5, 6, 7 of this Flashes lineup, starting with Ashlyn Porter. Porter leading this team in batting average, but also second in strikeouts with 20. Porter had the 2 RBI double that gave Kent State their early lead. Her first pitch outside, ball 1.
That one looked like that just got away from her. Way outside. Murphy still in for the Cardinals. We talked about that shaky start that she had, but she has battled back ever since.
She's certainly been dealing to this point. No more runs allowed. Still looking for her first strikeout. And inches further away now at 2-0. Porter, another member of the Northwoods League this past summer, spent her time with the lacrosse Steam in Wisconsin. Murphy makes it 3-0.
Steam, such a strong mascot right there. I love that one. That one's powerful.
It's all with the Northwoods League. You've got the Habaneros, of course the Moondogs, their counterpart, the St. Cloud Rocks, the Green Bay Rockers. Got the Kenosha Kingfish.
That one might be my favorite.
Good friend Dom Liacani will be on their mic this year. 3-1 in there for Bridie Murphy. She was down 3-0, hasn't since worked her way back to a full count. Big opportunity here for both pitcher and batter. Here it comes. This one lifted, not out of the infield. Pogue is there and tracks it down for out number 1.
You could hear it in here even with the headset on. Pogue, great communication. Ball, mine, mine, mine. And that's exactly what you need right there when it's up in the air in between two players. We saw it last inning from Kent State. The Cardinals replicating that well and getting an out. You talked about Murphy battling back, being down 3-0. Gets out of that one.
So up next is Gabby Quinn. She swings and misses off the breaking ball of Murphy. Quinn was hit by a pitch in her first plate appearance, wasn't able to score, was left stranded. So the 0-1, low and outside to even up the count. Quinn, one of the 3 players on this Kent State squad from Newcastle, Pennsylvania. This one in there for strike 2. Went to the same high school as Miley Anderson and Erilyn Noge, a very prestigious one at that. A career high school record of 101 in her time there. Swinging bunt right to DeRook. She wins the race to first for an unassisted putout. But 101, multiple time state champion. It's pretty hard to replicate that.
Yeah, not too shabby right there. Only experiencing 1 loss is quite impressive. And no matter where you go at the next level, it'd be so hard to adjust.
Only thing I can really think of that's remotely close is the Yukon Huskies and their long, prestigious streak of wins. First pitch to Leilani Johnson. She jumps on it early and fouls it away.
Yeah, you also think of, in the collegiate softball world, Oklahoma, who just is so dominant year in and year out. But I have not seen a stat like 101 in a very long time.
It's 0-2 now to Johnson with 2 gone in the top of the 4th. It's hard to think we're just about halfway through this one, LJ. An hour in. The 0-2 from Murphy. High and inside. Johnson says it hit her elbow. Murphy not in agreement. One way or another, Johnson will trot 90 feet. It would be the second player that Bridie Murphy has plunked today.
Murphy immediately shaking her head when that call was made. That's a frustrating one right there, as 1 strike away from getting out of this inning, and what really was an impressive job by Murphy, and still can be. She has that opportunity, but you never want that to happen, slowing down the momentum of the Cardinal.
Just 1 stolen base this year for Leilani Johnson, but she's flirting with the idea of tailing to second. First pitch inside on Alex Trevina. Trevina grounded it right to Murphy in her first plate appearance. This one down low for ball 2.
Noble ready to pop up per usual, but this time she's looking more at that first base line, not necessarily Johnson as much of a threat to get to second.
So here comes the 2-0. A good frame from Noble, but instead a 3-0 count. And after Murphy found herself up 0-2, now down 3-0, we've seen opposite ends of the spectrum.
And Murphy was down 3-0 early in this inning and got out of it.
No green light for Trevina. She watches strike 1 go by. No more Grace Gray in the Cardinal bullpen. Murphy trying to work her way back. Called for a strike, dotted on the corner. And for the second time in this inning, down 3-0, she manages to make it back full. For the 4th time today, the payoff from Murphy. Outside, but swung on by Trevina. It wasn't close to the zone.
I was about to say, after all that patience and watching from Trevina, lets that one just rip way outside.
She has 11 strikeouts on the year. Only Megan Clairhout has less. This time from Murphy, inside for ball 4. Through a hit by pitch and a walk with 2 outs, you've got 2 runners on for the 9-hole hitter Brooke Aberle.
Murphy so close to getting out of this one 2 separate times, unable to do so.
So here comes Helen Pena for a mound meeting. No activity in the pen, but just a chance to conversate with her pitcher. He's got to calm her down after this point. You got to get out of this one at least.
And like we said, it started off so hot and was 1 pitch away from being out of it. Talked about the pace of this game. It has flown by. And 4 hits for Kent State, 5 hits for Ball State. And so there's still been some offense. There's been some stolen bases, 2 home runs, both coming from the Cardinals. You're getting a little bit of everything through the first 3 innings. Now in the top of the 4th, Kent State just really battling and Murphy putting her mental game to the test.
To this point, Bridie Murphy, 3 2/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts, but the jarring number is 70 pitches. First offering to Brooke Aberle. She's too late on it and is fouled. Tension starting to rise across both dugouts. Aberle threatening to bunt. The offering from Murphy. She doesn't do so. Again, too late on the pitch from Bridie. and it goes into the Cardinal bullpen. But I think the idea of having Coach Pena come out there is that Murphy has done a great job to this point, but in a close game such as this one, you don't want the match to be flipped on its head, and there's an opportunity for Kent State to do so right here. The 0-2 to Aberly. Down low, it'll be the first ball of the count.
We've seen Aberly in both of her at-bats show bunt and pull back and swing. Be interesting to see what she does with 2 strikes.
So here it comes. Again, just a little too down low and outside. The count is evened up at 2s. A lot of 2s on that scoreboard, LJ. 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 outs, 2 runs for each team, 2 base runners for Kent. Amidst all that, here's the pitch from Murphy. Strike 3, got him looking. The 2 runners are left stranded, and that's going to end the half inning. It's still 2-2. Murphy pulls it off. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Behind every strong hip and knee. Behind every strong shoulder.
Good catch.
Behind every strong team is our highly skilled team of experts in orthopedics. IU Health is the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Ball State Athletics, and we're here to keep you moving. From acute injuries to chronic pain and conditions, go where the athletes go. Walk-in appointments for new injuries are available Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can always schedule a same-day or next-day appointment and wait from the comfort of your home. Visit iuhealth.org/Muncie Ortho to learn more.
Today we have 2 very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
It's a 2-2 ball game here in Muncie, Indiana, as Ball State faces off against Kent State. Bridie Murphy just shut the door on the 9-hole hitter Brooke Aberly. Caught her looking on a strikeout that left the runners Johnson and Trevena stranded. For Ball State, it'll be their 7-8-9. Starting with Haley Urban, the right fielder. First pitch outside 1-0, but Urban in her last AB had a screamer of a liner that went right to Gabby Quinn.
Gabby Quinn, super quick on that third base line, able to get that one, and it seems like both these pitches just a little down and outside to start the bottom of the 4th for Miller.
And the gamesmanship continues in both pens. Both pitchers of Kent warming up. Grace Gray back out there for Ball State. Urban again into the glove of Quinn, and then the transfer to Claire Hout is in time. Out number 1.
This one, it scooped halfway to that third base line, up into the glove and out. Quinn once again getting some action here in the bottom of the lineup for the Cardinals.
And the left side of the infield for both of these squads has been busy all day long. With the wind blowing out, you would expect to see a lot more fly balls, but instead, just a lot of worm burners through the infield. Next up for the Cards is the left-hander Allie Noble. She watches strike 1 go by. Since April 8th, Noble has been 1 for 14, but in her first plate appearance, was able to get on with a single in no man's land. As fast as Arlen Noge is, it landed right on that Cardinal head in the outfield, very shallow and just enough to get that base hit. It's now 1-2 on the redshirt sophomore from Arizona.
And that was a huge momentum swing for the Cardinals. Even though they didn't add any to the scoreboard, they were able to keep that inning alive with that bloop fly. You mentioned it, into that bright red Cardinal.
The Kent State infield got energetic, thought it was strike 3 looking on Allie Noble. Instead, too far outside, 2-2.
Gary Wells just sees it a little different. He's got the best look at it.
So an even count for Allie Noble. This one lifted high and deep into right field. It's going to go off the wall. Noble racing for 2 on her horse to 3. All the way in the outfield is Libler. And an easy triple for the catcher, Allie Noble.
The wind carrying that one to right field. And that is a tough cover right there. Even though it's a little cloudy, that sun's still peeking out here and there in the speed rounding the bases. A triple for the Cardinal offense.
Who said a catcher doesn't have wheels? A triple for Noble. Lovett comes up and bounces her first offering off the backstop. It's the first triple of the year for Allie Noble. And Ashley Lovett hoping to bring her home here. The 0-1 from Miller, infield in. Lovett shows bunt, pulls back, ball 1. Lovett with 14 runs batted in on the year. Of the 9 starting batters today, Lovett the 4th in double digits in that department. And there's another one. Right past the glove of Libler, Allie Noble can trot home and an RBI single for the 9-hole hitter Lovett.
That's what you want to see out of the bottom of your lineup right there, creating some offense. And you just mentioned it, right over the glove. Libler unable to get there, but she laid out to get that one. The effort was all there. But the Cardinal offense finding rhythm.
And for the first time today, the Cardinals have a lead. A bunt try from Kelly and a diving play from Shawless gets the second out.
Talk about laying out for one. I mean, that is an impressive play. We talked about her speed popping up and being aware of where each runner is and ready to make a throw at each and every moment. But right there, doing it herself. A bunt that looked like it was going to go foul turns into an out. And Kent State finding some rhythm, 1 out away.
Well, here comes a scary situation for Riley Miller. She has to face Ella Whitney again, and this time with a runner on. The past 2 plate appearances for this designated player, both of them homers into right center. The 0-1 to Whitney. Could break on it to make it 0-2 for the first time. Whitney behind in her duels against Miller. Big AB here for Riley Miller. Can she put it away? The 0-2. This one smacked, almost hit the third base coach, Matt Burns. It's a screamer down the third base line for Ella Whitney.
Burns with some electric reaction time right there. Pops out of that coaching box.
That's good foot speed.
Oh yeah, you gotta stay warm.
So here comes the 0-2. Whitney stays alive. This one lifted but won't get out of the infield. A catch made from Libler. And Miller takes a deep breath. She gave up 1 run in the Cardinals' lead, but able to take care of Whitney for the first time today. Cards lead 3-2 after 4 innings of action. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. This is Jared Matheny with Summit City Sports at Indiana Tech Athletics, a proud SportsLink alum. Go Cards!
Fifth inning underway between Ball State and Kent State. The Cards just got their first lead of the game off of an RBI from their 9-hole hitter, Ashley Lovett. SportsLink Digital Radio presented by Victory Honda of Muncie covering this one. Dylan Budd joined by LJ Shrieve, and for the first time today, we see a change at the circle. Grace Gray, the true freshman, will come in In replacement of Bridie Murphy, her day is over. Gray, a homer from Brownsburg, Indiana, team best in runs and hits allowed.
You go from a senior to a true freshman in the circle. Murphy did her job. The Cardinals have the lead, and she hands it over to Gray.
46 and a third innings for Grace Gray on the year in her young career. She also has spent some time in the outfield. She'll face the 1-2-3 of the Golden Flashes, Ireland Nogue, Bryn Libler, and Callie Shawless.
The 1-2-3 seeing a new hand in the circle, a lefty this time for the Cardinals.
34 runs allowed by Gray, 24 of them earned. It's a 2-0 count to Ireland Nogue. And for a young pitcher, you certainly don't want a speedster like her on the base paths. The 2-0 too far inside, almost hit the leg of Nogue, and it's 3-0 now. Gray, a 2-4 record on the year with an ERA of 5.25. Here comes the 3-0, and it's in there for strike one. Again, no green light for these flash hitters.
Gray needed that one right there just to see one go through the zone big time for the freshman.
3-1, Gray tries to work it back. Again, too far inside, and 90 feet for Ireland Nogue. Freebie.
Well, Dylan, you said it. That is someone you do not want to see on the bases. So quick. Stealing here and there. Will get herself in scoring position. And also just stolen bases. Just such big momentum builders for offenses. Especially when you haven't gotten another point on the scoreboard since the first.
Showing bunt is Libler. Gray collects, and the out is made. But a sacrifice bunt for the second baseman, her 7th of the year. She's 5th in the MAC in that department.
That's such a unique stat right there, and that just shows how selfless she is. She knows the speed that Nogue has, advancing her into a spot where she is one bag away from being in scoring position.
A duck on the pond for Callie Shawless, the catcher. We've mentioned it before, but Shawless leading this team in RBIs, home runs, and slugging percentage. Previously in this one, she had a single lined right to Bridie Murphy and then had a pop fly to Ava Cullen. Still no offering yet between Gray and Shawless. Gray checks her wrist. And here comes the offering. Too low, Noble collects. Nogue will try for third. The ball was in time, but Pogue dropped it.
A heads-up play right there from Noble. One, just to stop that one from getting away from her. That one low and inside. But then to make that throw that was on point, it was just dropped. The Cardinals miss an opportunity right there to add its second out.
Credited as another stolen base for Ireland Nogue, her 2nd of the day. It's a 1-1 count now for Shawless. She's looking to slap hit at this point, anything to get out of the infield and bring Nogue home. Some activity in the Cardinal pen. Brinkley Keita now getting warm. A high ball from Gray, and she's behind in the count at 2-1. Also see Jess Hoffman in batting cages working off the tee. Could see her in a pinch hit situation as a lefty outfielder. Infield in for Callie Shawless. The 2-1. She lifts this high down the first base line. Urban back at the track and makes the grab. Nogue comes home in easy fashion. As good of an arm as Urban is, she can't get it there in time. It's 3-3.
Once again, that all goes back to the sacrifice bunt, advancing. That pitch just getting away. Nogue having the speed to get to third. And another sacrifice play at the plate evens this one at 3.
So a sack bunt from Libler advances Nogue, and then Shawless, a sack fly to the glove of Haley Urban. It'll bring up the cleanup batter, Megan Clairhout. She's yet to get a hit today. She flew one out to the shortstop and also had one right to the glove of Bridie Murphy.
Gray needed that one right there. Starts this at bat with a strike, something she has not done this far.
Gray getting ahead early. Can she add to it? Yes. Swing and a miss off the breaker. And Clairhout 1 strike away from ending the top of the 5th. Clairhout still riding the high of getting her 100th career hit earlier this week against Youngstown State. The 0-2 from Gray, too high, couldn't get the chase. Grace Gray, a look at Helen Pena, now checks her right wrist. And here comes the 1-2. This one dribbled past the glove of Pogue. Love it straight to second, but it's a 2-out single for the cleanup batter, Clairhout.
Clairhout just battling right there. Gray, who got ahead with the 0-2, unable to bring that one home. And once again, Kent State, this is kind of what they do. They just keep it alive late in the innings where they'll have 2 outs. Look like we are headed to the next. They just stay alive, keep their bats hot. They look to do so here.
At the 5 hole, it's Ashlyn Porter. Her first hit chopped down the first base line, foul. Grace Gray at this point already 1 run allowed, but it's off of the craziness of Erilyn Nogue. Her only hit allowed was that recent one against Clairhout. She stays on first. Gray ahead once more, the 0-1. Right to Cullen. The throw to Ramos is good. And that's going to end the half inning, but not before Kent State responds with a run of their own from Erilyn Nogue. We're knotted up at 3-3 heading into the bottom of the 5th. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive car dock maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
We're in the bottom of the 5th from Muncie, Indiana. Ball State, Kent State in a grudge match tied up at 3-3. For Ball State, the 3-4-5 hitters due up, starting with Lindsay DeRook. She's singled and doubled in her last plate appearances. She watches ball 1 go by outside her. Riley Miller still in the circle for Kent State to this point. Miller allowing 3 runs and 7 hits, just 1 strikeout. Another one outside for her. We saw some activity in the pen. Both Meadow Ferry as well as the other arm, Elena Hilliard, were getting some action, but nothing going on their side. For Ball State, Brinkley Keita still warming up as Grace Gray is in for their end. Lindsay DeRoic fouls one to make it 2-1. She was just late on the fastball. DeRoic, one of the MAC co-players of the week on March 4th, in her debut weekend with Ball State, had a combined 10 runs batted in. After a high one from Miller, it's a 3-1 count. Got to think DeRoic She's getting ready to swing for the fences. Here's the offering. She does, but right into the arm of Clairhout. A liner straight to Megan Clairhout for out number 1. That's got to be trouble for Lindsay DeRook. So it'll be Skylin Pogue batting cleanup today. She's had a frustrating one. A fielder's choice out where she reached to first. Another grounder to the shortstop and has made a couple errors in the field. Waiting for her first hit today. She dribbles one right to Gabby Quinn. And the corner infielders do pitch and catch for out number 2.
Kent State, after giving up 1 run in their last go, this inning, taking full advantage of their skills and abilities, looking to get a 1-2-3 quick 3 outs.
And another player hitless today coming up is Megan Ramos, celebrating a birthday in a couple weeks, and it has come to my attention, LJ, yesterday you celebrated yours. Happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you, Dylan. Yeah, it was a good one. Blessed, always fun. But yeah, summer birthdays are awesome. So I bet growing up as a kid, she was out there playing softball on her birthday year after year, and that's always fun, getting to play a sport with teammates that you love and just enjoying your birthday, hopefully on a nice day for her.
Is this the big 2-0 for you? Big 21.
Big 21.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can do a lot of things now.
Yeah, I was on the phone with my dad who's out of town, but he was like, that there's only one. You got 25, sorta, and then 59. You can do something with your Roth RIA that he was telling me about, and kind of lost me there. That's more his side of things, as he's a stockbroker, and he was with some buddies and they were giggling about it. But yeah, 21 does kind of feel like the last big one.
There's 18, there's 21, some argument for 13, maybe 16.
Yep.
A walk now for Megan Ramos. It's her first trip on the base paths.
And that's huge, not only for herself and some momentum there to get things going mentally, but then also for the Cardinals staying in this inning. Quick 2 outs. An opportunity to stay alive here in the bottom of the 5th in a game that really continues to move pretty quickly.
Up next is Ava Colin, the second baseman. Today, she's also hitless. She spent some time at her high school in Defiance, Ohio, golfing, and I'm sure some of those skills translate as a batter.
Man, I feel like it would be really tough to have both of those fundamentals and techniques down.
She pulls out the iron, a dribbler to libbler, and that's going to end the inning right there. After 5 innings of play, Ball State, Kent State tied up at 3 apiece. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
The final 2 innings about to transpire between Ball State and Kent State. It's a 3-3 ball game. We're neck and neck in this one. Early 2 runs for the Flashes, but Ball State has since come back off of 2 jacks from Ella Whitney. Since then, it's just been back and forth. Grace Gray still on the mound after Bridie Murphy had a few innings. And leading off for the Flashes at this point will be Ashlyn Porter, who leads this squad in batting average. Porter, a transfer from Campbell University.
My goodness, I mean, D-Bud, I don't know if you got that in your ear or if that was just mine, but
it's getting chippy.
Sounds like the bleachers beneath us are starting to wake up.
So it'll be a pinch hitter for Kent State, donning number 24. Gabby Quinn out there watches ball one. This one gets on the wrong end of her bat, and we're knotted up at 1-1.
Looked like she really reached out to go get that one. But we've been calling her name often. You talk about an active side of the field. Well, that third baseline, typically active, but today feels like it's even a little more. Even with that wind pushing behind them, there has been some where she's had to go out and get it, scoop it. She's kind of done it all.
A big blast from Gabby Quinn into center, but caught at the track by Paige Kelly. A back-breaking swing from Gabby Quinn. That's warning track power.
And what a play out there to go get it. We've seen some balls hit into the outfield today that have just been hard to chase and track down. There's been some struggles there, whether it ends up going out and not knowing where you're at, or it just bounces off the wall. She is all over that one, and a big-time out for the Cardinals.
So up next is Leilani Johnson. Her last plate appearance, she got hit by Bridie Murphy. Before then, a grounder right into the glove of Skyland Pogue. She watches strike one go by off the true freshman Gray. Lefty on righty matchup. Here comes Gray, a comebacker that would have headed right our way. There's always one ball a game that makes you flinch here in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, I think my reaction speed was a little slow. I think I would have been toast if these we didn't have the window or the nice netting in front of us.
The 0-2 from Gray. Another one heads over the press box and into the parking lot.
Yeah, I saw when I was arriving, I saw that you parked nice and far away. No risks at dinking the truck.
Business decision.
Yeah. Get the extra steps on a nice day like today.
Of course, as one does. Here comes the 0-2. Another one sailing right by us.
Yeah.
I mean, LJ, at this point, you need to pick up a glove.
I know. Yeah, I'm getting warm up here, loosening up.
It's a call to the bullpen. Get Shrieve up and moving around.
Yeah, thankfully that's not the case.
Grace Gray tries to put it away instead. Gloved by Noble, but very high and over the head of Johnson.
Yeah, talk about some reaction speed right there. Noble going up to get it. Man, that was impressive.
So now it's 1-2 between Gray and Johnson. Middle of the infield wide open for her. And this one hits Johnson high and in the chest. She went down hard. You got to hope she's okay. That's the second time she's been hit today. And that one a little less forgiving than the first.
Yeah, that first one, we saw Murphy wasn't too sure if it hit her. That one, there is no debate right there. Always scary.
And for one reason or another, whether late game situation or hoping she's okay, Miley Anderson will check in to pinch run.
Wise decision from Kent State's coaching staff. Just make sure Johnson's doing all right. Get her checked out.
Anderson just one stolen bag on the year, but 5 runs scored this season. And we've seen her as a pinch runner and defensive replacement. She has a background in track, so want to talk about skills translating. That's it right there. First pitch to Trevina is down low for ball one.
It's always interesting learning and seeing what other sports, these athletes, these collegiate athletes grew up playing, and it's such an important thing that I've started to notice a downtick in high school athletes only, choosing one sport and going that way. But you hear so many Division I athletes, Division II athletes, at whatever level. If you're playing at the collegiate level, they have a background in more than just that specific sport. And you said it. Usually it translates.
This one fouled away by Trevina. But I've talked with you and some other colleagues about this before. When it comes to skills translating or the level of talent in this day and age of across all athletics. It seems like the sport is becoming increasingly more positionless. The 1-2 to Trevina outside, a try back to first, but Anderson gets back in time.
Another heads-up play from Noble, putting it in a spot where it's going to go right into the glove and down on the first base line.
She's done a great job of keeping base runners in check. So here it comes from Gray. Pogue, Cullen. The turn to first can't be made in time, but the second out is there. And Trevina will go to first. Anderson out at that second bag.
Smart decision not to try and make an acrobatic play in turn 2, where in a perfect world you would have liked to. You get that lead base runner out, and you're just one out away from escaping this inning.
So at the 9 hole, it's Brooke Aberly. She was caught looking in her last plate appearance. Runner goes. The throw, is it made in time? Yes, she was off the bag on the slide, and that's going to end the half inning. Catastrophic for Trevina. Trevina looking for her 10th stolen bag of the year. Instead, it's the 3rd time she's been caught on the pads.
That one super, super close, and obviously it looked like she beat the throw, but just slides right off, and such an important job. Again, Noble getting it there and just allowing the infielders to make plays.
So back on the Ball State side, Riley Miller still in the circle for Kent State. She's proven to stay in this one, and she has done such a nice job today. Due up for Ball State, the 7-8-9, Haley Urban, Allie Noble, and Ashley Lovett. We're going to take a very short break. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. This is Jared Matheny with Summit City Sports at Indiana Tech Athletics, a proud SportsLink alum. Go Cards!
5 innings of play to this point for Riley Miller, and it really seems like this Kent State coaching staff is going to let her go the complete game. 7 innings.
Yeah, and we talked about her coming into this as such a strong talent as a freshman, seeing how she would do today in the unexpected conditions of some wind, maybe some rain, and the rain's really held off. Sure, she's had the moments where she's given up 3 homers, but in this one, all tied up, and she has done her job to keep them in it. Smart move from the coaching staff.
Haley Urban, a short grounder picked up by Trevina. Out is made on the exchange to Megan Clairhout. A nice play from the shortstop to get us going.
That one over to the first base. Really, really fast. And a nice catch to get the out right there. Once again, the infield for Kent State doing their job.
So here comes Allie Noble. She's singled and tripled in her 2 plate appearances today to the tune of Mr. Bombastic. LJ, I got to ask you, you're playing in a game like this, what is your walk-up song?
Oh, well, I'm going to go with some inspiration from the Arkansas Razorbacks catcher last season, Ryder Helfrich. Getting it by 2 short is where I would go with that one. What about you, Dylan?
Well, you know, it's got to be something fun. It's got to be something engaging, something to kind of lighten the mood a little bit. So, you know, Copacabana, Barry Manilow is a pretty solid option, but I'd have to think a little bit more about it. 2-1 now to Allie Noble. Got to say, Mr. Bombastic's a pretty good one, though.
Oh, yeah, that's a strong choice, and you said it's got to be fun. Maybe get some of the audience into it, and I think that's one that has that ability.
It's a good call from Allie Noble. She fouls this one back, and we're evened up at 2-2. 1 out gone after Haley Urban grounded out to Alex Trevina. It's a 3-3 ball game between Ball State and Kent State. This is game 1 of 3, a doubleheader tomorrow, as well as senior day for the Cardinal and White. Here comes the 2-2 from Miller. Strike 3. Bat didn't go off the shoulder of Allie Noble. And just the second strikeout of the day for Riley Miller.
Second strikeout. She's going the distance, and she needs those Ks to continue to roll in for the mental side in the circle. A freshman going the distance. Impressive work.
So at the 9 hole, it's Ashley Lovett. In her last plate appearance, she gave the Cardinals the lead by bringing home Noble after her triple. Lovett's been on base twice after that RBI single, as well as being hit by a Miller pitch in the second. With 2 outs, you'd certainly want to see her get on here if you're Coach Pena. She watches a breaking ball go down low, looked right down the middle. Instead, it's 2-1 and gives a chance for some discourse between Shawless and Miller. Coach O'Donnell not too happy with that decision. One way or another. It's a 1-1 count to Lovett. She smacks it down the right field line in foul territory. Libler and Porter can't get on it.
They were chasing that one down, both of them equally as close as the other. Unable to get there in time, just too far out of play. Nevertheless, that's strike number 2 in this at-bat.
Lovett, as a sophomore, was second team All-MAC selection, and then junior year hobbled for much of it with a PCL injury. We saw her with a brace for the duration of the year, but at this point, in that 9-hole spot, batting .244, an OPS of .627. She's another player that is almost in that double leadoff spot for Ball State. The 1-2, swing and a miss, and Miller got her. Back-to-back strikeouts for the true freshman, and that's going to end the 6th inning. One more inning to go in this one, unless we get the chance of free softball. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Hey Cardinal fans, show your pride wherever you go with the Ball State Financial Debit Card, now featuring your favorite mascot, Charlie Cardinal. It's the perfect card for students, alumni, and lifelong fans, letting you show your Cardinal spirit with every purchase you make. And with Ball State Financial, you'll get all the convenience, security, and hometown service you deserve from people who love this community as much as you do. Explore the card in your hometown credit union at fcfcu.com/chirp. Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union.
This broadcast is presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. For your next new or pre-owned vehicle, drop by our showroom at the corners of McGalliard and Morrison Roads, or check out the website victorymuncie.com. Again, victorymuncie.com. We just heard from our officials in public address. We are officially in lightning delay. We heard that there is going to be some rain coming in at around 3. Right now the clock reads 3:38. We're an hour 45 into our broadcast here on SportsLink Digital, and lightning delay is called. So a doubleheader tomorrow between these two squads, Ball State and Kent State, the penultimate series of the year between these two programs. And I suppose now there's a conversation, if this lightning holds up, do you want to do a doubleheader and a partial inning to conclude the series all in one day?
Well, and it's such a bummer, D-Bud, because you look at today's game and it's been so back and forth and good, and you've gotten a little bit of everything, a couple home runs. So we saw a triple, you've seen really it all. A bunch of stolen bases, some strikeouts, some plays from the catcher, and a lot of action on that third base line. And so today's game's been a mix of it all, and it'd be a real shame if they had to move it, because both teams finding different momentum and really having to work for it. It's a bummer to see that lightning come in and at least put a pause, if not, really move this game to another day.
Due up for the Flashes would be Brooke Aberly, and then back to the top of the order with Erilyn Nogue and Bryn Libler. A dangerous 1-2-3 to begin the final inning of play in this one. As for Ball State, they just watched Riley Miller pitch her best inning of this contest. A quick grounder from Haley Urban, and then back-to-back strikeouts. One looking on Allie Noble, and then one swinging on Ashley Lovett. It means the Cards would be back to their beginning of their rotation with Paige Kelly, Ella Whitney, and Lindsay DeRook.
you look outside and you don't see a whole lot of change from where we've been through these 6 innings. It's been cloudy and wind blowing out and a little to the right from the home plate. And so visually, from our standpoint, it doesn't look like a whole lot has changed, but you do see the wind start to pick up, and then you check the radar, and it is a little dangerous. And when you see that there's weather in the area, obviously you have to make that call. And so, like I said, it is a shame for both teams to put a hold on it, but hopefully the weather breezes through and we get back to some good softball, because that's what we've seen, and we talked about it when we came in to today's broadcast. The standings, Ball State not playing to get into the tournament anymore, playing more for pride and for their seniors, and then also what they can build upon heading into next year. On the other side, Kent State, they still have stuff to play for. They are trying to make it into that tournament that Ball State has been eliminated from. And so the MAC kind of all over the place. You have Akron leading the way. But, man, that bubble, that's fun to watch.
Well, looking at that bubble right now, the first 2 teams on the outside looking in, you've got Toledo and Buffalo squaring off today. The latter won in New York earlier today, 9-2. Bowling Green against UMass. The Falcons won that 5-1 against 2 teams in the bottom of the conference. And then a game that just got underway that's going to be very interesting. The 3-seeded Miami Redhawks taking on the 5th-seeded Central Michigan Chippewas. Shortly after that, you've got the 1-seed Akron against the 4-seed Ohio. A quick trip down to Athens for the Zips. And those could be very interesting to see how the conference shakes up.
Yeah, when you look at the conference, you were looking at those teams, Miami, Ohio, Central, they all have 7 losses, so it is super close. And you see that in so many different sports throughout the MAC, of whether it's the bubble or even all the way to the top. The MAC is super competitive and just closely knit. It's inches are what get the wins for those teams that come out victorious. And so across, you have Ball State baseball also in a weather delay right now and putting a hold on both Diamond Sports that are having a fun Friday afternoon. But that fun Friday, like I just said, put on hold. It'll be interesting to see how long it lasts. Everyone has left the stadium except for Blue and the coaches on both sides. They were just discussing along the first baseline in communication, but it looks like they will break.
And that Ball State UMass game that you mentioned, that's just a couple 100 feet in front of us. The Minutemen lead the Cardinals 7-5 in the top of the 9th. Looks like Xander Bretza is about to get some time on the mound to try and give the Cards a chance to have yet another walk-off and rally. You can hear the rain start to fall. You also can probably hear Purple Rain by Prince going through the public address.
Yeah, that rain is starting to really come down. Hopefully I rolled up all my windows in the truck. I think I did. Hopefully that's the same for you.
Yeah, I generally have them down, the sunroof closed unless it's about 85 degrees is when we justify making that decision. But, came in today at about 70 degrees, kept it closed. I got to mention with Purple Rain going on, have you ever seen the 2006 Prince Super Bowl halftime show? He plays Purple Rain. It starts raining. It's outdoors, one of the last outdoor concerts where, weather could have been a factor. Prince decided, you know what, I'm going to go with it anyway. Became in conversation of one of the greatest Super Bowl halftime shows of all time. At least I certainly think so.
Yeah, D-Bud, I was just about to say that when you mentioned that comes to mind as one of the best of all time. Obviously, I was a year into in my life, so I don't remember it live, but I have gone back and watched, and boy, is it good. That's one of my favorite things to do when I can't sleep. I'll go back and rewatch some of the Super Bowl halftime shows.
Do you really?
I do. Yeah, I really enjoy it. That's there's some real gems, and then there's some ones that are a little questionable, but you think of Michael Jackson, and I loved when Bruno Mars got to got to go out there and perform, one in 2013 and then also in 2015. And so, yeah, the Super Bowl halftime show, always a fun discussion, but Purple Rain coming down here. But it looks like the rain has really slowed down. I can't see much of it from the press box.
It was for just a few minutes, but it came down pretty hard. But yeah, Bruno in 2013 headlining the show with the Doo-Wops and Hooligans, and then in 2015, that was another good one with Coldplay and Beyonce in there as well.
Yeah, that was a fun one. That was a great Super Bowl halftime show.
But recently it was Apple Music that obtained the rights to the halftime show. Previously it was Pepsi, and since then we've seen ones to the likes of Bad Bunny, Kendrick Lamar, Usher. I believe the first one was the year of Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, the list goes on in California.
Yeah, that was a strong one for Apple to come out with right there. You mentioned the Usher one. I'm a big Justin Bieber guy. I was pretty disappointed when Justin Bieber did not end up making an appearance, but you know, it's okay.
Hey, he's still in contention. He's in the mix. He had a pretty fun Coachella show not too long ago.
Yeah, that has been a topic of conversation for sure. But yeah, no, the live performances, whether it's sports, whether it's musicians or comedians, performers, anyone that's performing live, something that they practiced for hours, put in so many hours of work into. It's always a blast to watch that. And so, you know, for us, D-Bud, it's what a blessing it is to just even be out here watching some collegiate softball and being able to be on the air, be on the call for it. It's so much fun, and it's quite disappointing and frustrating that it's out of our control that we have a weather delay.
Still 3-3, hoping to get just one more inning of action between Ball State and Kent State. You've already got a doubleheader tomorrow. So now there's the discussion of, do you add one more inning to an already loaded day for your Saturday action? We're going to step aside for just a little bit and soak in some Prince and a little bit of water as well. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Hey Cardinal fans, show your pride wherever you go with the Ball State Financial Debit Card, now featuring your favorite mascot, Charlie Cardinal. It's the perfect card for students, alumni, and lifelong fans, letting you show your Cardinal spirit with every purchase you make. And with Ball State Financial, you'll get all the convenience, security, and hometown service you deserve from people who love this community as much as you do. Explore the card in your hometown credit union at fcfcu.com/chirp. Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
Back here in Muncie, Indiana, the rain has picked up a little bit more as we conclude Purple Rain by the great Minnesota Prince. But when I'm thinking about this rain delay ahead of us right now, LJ, have you ever been in one? Have you ever, whether played in one or been in the stands for one, have you ever had that experience before?
Yeah, it's something that's coming to mind, Dylan, is that Ohio Ball State football game earlier this school year. Felt like it was in a rain delay for a really long time. That also is such an exciting game for the Cardinals to get out of with a win. But yeah, I never played baseball growing up because my mom and dad, my grandparents have a old lake cottage, and they wanted to spend time up there in the summer, which now I'm super glad that they chose to do that. But I was not allowed to play baseball, but then my two younger brothers, I have three younger brothers, but the two youngest, Spencer and Colton, they both got to play baseball. So what was that all about? I'm not really sure, but nevertheless, I'd sat through a couple of their rain delays, which man, is that just a joy.
Just such a treat. So much fun. The most famous rain delay I can think of, and this is the Illinois person coming out of me, being from the Chicagoland area. In Game 7, 2016, the Chicago Cubs against the Cleveland Guardians. It goes to extra innings. Cubs in a 108-year drought of a World Series win. At that point, I believe the Guardians, it was 45 years at that point. At that point, they were also the Cleveland Indians, but it was a rain delay called. They pull out the tarp, the players come in, and the right fielder, Jason Hayward, apparently had a players-only meeting in the team clubhouse, gave such an inspirational speech for one reason or another, fired up the players, and then in the 10th, Cubs score first off a Ben Zobrist RBI, and then Mike Montgomery, of all people, a general starter in the rotation, generally one of the last players in that Cubs rotation, either that or a long reliever. They'd overworked Aroldis Chapman. It was a long series, a lot of relievers were used, and it meant that Mike Montgomery, of all people, in his third pitch of the day, shut down a Rajai Davis grounder. Chris Bryant fields it to Anthony Rizzo. The Cubs win the World Series. Bryant makes the play.
That's you say that's, you know, your inner Illinois coming out of you, but that's got to be one of the ones that comes to mind, especially if you watch Diamond Sports. You know, that was such a 2016. What an awesome year for sports, but also, you know, just as you're saying, if you were a Cubs fan, what a fun year, and one that, you know, you'll remember forever. Even at not myself being not much of a Cubs fan, but I'm always gonna remember that, you know, that October run and the capping it off with the World Series win over, like you said, Cleveland, who was another team that's like, how could you not be rooting for them during their run, as they remain in that drought, you know, and continue to look for it as recent years. They've been just such a budgeted team in baseball and still are able to compete with some of the top dogs.
Well, and you got to think earlier that year, Cleveland was blessed with a championship in a different sport. So
yes, they were.
The Cubs were down 3-1 to the Indians, now the Guardians, and able to come back and win in 7. And then just a few months before, the Cleveland Cavaliers, led by LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, find themselves down 3-1 to one of the greatest teams in baseball history in the 2016 Golden State Warriors, 73 wins. And then they come back and win it in 7. It was an amazing game, an amazing series, and kind of the staple moment of LeBron James's illustrious career.
Yeah, like, I mean, you just mentioned it. 2016, what a fun year in the world of sports. This year, on track to be a solid year in sports. You know, right now you have NHL's going, NBA playoffs obviously going. Collegiate sports has been strong with strong March Madness here in Indiana, where the Final Four was held, which Indy, just such a great host city, and so always fun stuff going on, at least in the sports world. Coming up, obviously, is the month of May, which is super important in the state of Indiana. The Indianapolis 500 will have another year of running, which is always fun. I don't know if you've ever been, but you know, if you haven't, for those who haven't, that's something that if you're around, something to check off the bucket list.
Got the Indy 500, the Kentucky Derby is coming up across the world of sports. IU won the national championship very early this year, and last night, their frontman Fernando Mendoza getting drafted by the Las Vegas Raiders to be their heir apparent in the quarterback position. And then the Seattle Seahawks winning the Super Bowl was hosted in Indiana, but Michigan comes out on top in the Final Four in the NCAA men's tournament. It's been a good year of sports to this point. With baseball going on, there's no real front runner. The Dodgers and the Yankees are always in it, but then you've got shockers like the Atlanta Braves. The Cubs are starting to get some traction. It's a weird realm in baseball, but especially in all sports, you're starting to see some different winners, and I think everybody's just happy for the parity.
Yeah, that's what fans look for. Especially just the casual fan. That's what they want to see, and no matter what sport it is. And so, parity is always a good thing, and that means it's competitive. I talked about it earlier, but boy, you look around the MAC in each and every sport, and man, it is competitive. It is closely knit. It's teams just going at it day in, day out with each other, and you see that, right now in the late spring, early summer seasons, especially on the diamond sports, softball, baseball, both those sports. The MAC's such a respected league, and not a Power 4, not a Power 5, but one of those that always has a team or a couple teams that are dangerous, no matter what the sport is. And it's fun to watch, fun to look for as the rain delay continues. Hopefully we get out of it soon so we can have these two teams that have been so fun all day long get back out there. But weather looking like it stays undefeated.
I'm glad you mentioned the MAC and the presence that has had as of late with everything going on with NIL. It's becoming increasingly more difficult to be an athlete or a program at the mid-major level. And then you look at the basketball tournament this year. You've got Akron, who wins the MAC for the third straight year. You've also got the undefeated Miami, Ohio Redhawks that were in the first four in that contest against SMU. Speaking of which, SMU assistant coach Chris Capco now leading the charge for Ball State. So no stranger to the Redhawks, but that brought a lot of eyes to the MAC and brought a lot of attention to this conference.
Oh yeah, people were talking about that, through the months of February, March, and it was a fun storyline to follow, especially being at a school that is in the MAC. And I was on the broadcast with Rowan Elbert, one of our colleagues in SportsLink. We were on the call for when Miami of Ohio came to town here, and so it was fun to see them in person and then see that run that they went on and just the way that their team was structured. And of course, I loved to follow them as a Carmel alum myself. Peter Suter, coming from Carmel, Indiana, and so it was fun to see him just find his rhythm at the collegiate level and just play real well against teams that you see weekend after weekend as a kid growing up. You think of those conferences, and SMU, a very respectable program, and Miami of Ohio was at the forefront of a lot of conversation. So you mentioned it, the MAC is respected and doing their job in terms of being at the forefront of conversation for on the national page.
When you look at those three top teams in the MAC for basketball, we got the chance to see all of them come to Worthen. You had Kent State, you had Miami, you had Akron. All of them just so fun to watch, but we mentioned the fact how difficult it is to be a mid-major player or program, and those stars at those mid-major schools was very interesting to see if there would be anybody that stayed, anybody that went, and all of the stars that shone brightest on those top teams ended up leaving to greener pastures. Most notably, Gillespie of Kent State ends up going to Houston.
Yeah, and the thing is, you see players come and go and in today's era, but he's ready to play at Houston because what he's experienced in the MAC and just a summer under Kelvin Sampson is going to get him right. And so, nevertheless, whether you see him stay, whether you see him go, it is cool to see where they come from even before, because you could say the same if you were a program following at the JUCO level, and it's like, well, man, I wish these guys would just stay, and well, they're jumping up to, Ball State, and so it kind of goes both ways, and it's just another opportunity for, fans, the media, people on the call like us right now. It's another opportunity to tell more athletes' stories, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, it makes you think about the concept, like if you're a star player at a mid-major school or at a junior college, would you rather be a star at a lower level school? Or in turn, would you rather be a bench player or a role player on a team that is much more prestigious? And I think the direction is starting to turn towards the latter.
Yeah, it's a conversation, to be had, and there's opinions each and every way, and so no matter where you stand, you do just want to see the best for the student athletes, I think, and that's what everyone wants to see, coaches and fans, and so I think as we continue to monitor where college athletics goes, I think that is at the forefront of it all, and there are some guys in suits and then guys behind a microphone that are growing to be at the same page.
Rain picking up and then slowing down, picking up once more for good measure. Both buses for the visitors in baseball and softball are now on, but we have no implication of whether or not we're going to play out this last inning on either side, at both Shebeck and here at the Ball State softball diamond. We're going to take a minute to step aside. We'll come with any updates that we potentially have, but for now, just chilling through this rain delay. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive car dock maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Hey Cardinal fans, show your pride wherever you go with the Ball State Financial Debit Card, now featuring your favorite mascot, Charlie Cardinal. It's the perfect card for students, alumni, and lifelong fans, letting you show your Cardinal spirit with every purchase you make. And with Ball State Financial, you'll get all the convenience, security, and hometown service you deserve from people who love this community as much as you do. Explore the card in your hometown credit union at fcfcu.com/chirp. Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, I like it. So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip.
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Behind every strong hip and knee. Behind every strong shoulder.
Good catch.
Behind every strong team is our highly skilled team of experts in orthopedics. IU Health is the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Ball State Athletics, and we're here to keep you moving. From acute injuries to chronic pain and conditions, go where the athletes go. Walk-in appointments for new injuries are available Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can always schedule a same-day or next-day appointment and wait from the comfort of your home. Visit iuhealth.org/MuncieOrtho to learn more.
Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. This is Hadassah Harris with CBS's WLFI 18, a proud SportsLink alum. Chirp, chirp.
You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. This is Jared Matheny with Summit City Sports at Indiana Tech Athletics, a proud SportsLink alum. Go Cards!
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
Hey Cardinal fans, show your pride wherever you go with the Ball State Financial Debit Card, now featuring your favorite mascot, Charlie Cardinal. It's the perfect card for students, alumni, and lifelong fans, letting you show your Cardinal spirit with every purchase you make. And with Ball State Financial, you'll get all the convenience, security, and hometown service you deserve from people who love this community as much as you do. Explore the card in your hometown credit union at fcfcu.com/chirp. Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union.
Behind every strong hip and knee. Behind every strong shoulder.
Good catch.
Behind every strong team is our highly skilled team of experts in orthopedics. IU Health is the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Ball State Athletics, and we're here to keep you moving. From acute injuries to chronic pain and conditions, go where the athletes go. Walk-in appointments for new injuries are available Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can always schedule a same-day or next-day appointment and wait from the comfort of your home. Visit iuhealth.org/MuncieOrtho to learn more.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
Still in rain delay here at Ball State. It's a 3-3 ball game between the Cardinals and the Kent State Golden Flashes. Heavy rain and a thunderstorm for the next half hour or so. We just saw a big lightning bolt cross the stadium. It's a rain delay for both softball and baseball. This thunder cracks around us. Just trying to fill the time as much as we possibly can. Both teams in their respective dugouts. 6 innings have happened at this point. Again, a 3-3 ball game. The Cardinals rallied after being down 2-0 early. But 1 inning left of play, and there's a doubleheader tomorrow between these two, including a senior day celebration for a few Card seniors. But at this point, just filling the time, waiting on a verdict. Do they play 1 more inning as well as the pre-scheduled doubleheader, or do we wait this out and find the thrilling conclusion between the Cards and Kent State? Ball State's put up a very good fight in this one to this point. They're the only team that's been eliminated from tournament contention. Kent State still fighting for one of those last spots. They stand at 7-14. The 6th-seeded Western Michigan is 7-9. So a few games back at this point are the Flashes. Just trying for a postseason appearance under Coach O'Donnell. As for Ball State, a year that's been filled with struggles. 17-25 overall. Some great performances in non-conference play, but 4-17 as we mentioned. And that puts them at the bottom of the conference. They haven't won a series in conference play to this point, and in their first 10 MAC games, they began the year 2-8. Got swept against Akron, 2 losses and then a win at Central Michigan, 2 losses and a win again in Toledo, Ohio. They won the first game against the Ohio Bobcats before losing the last 2, before getting swept at Northern Illinois, swept welcoming the Western Michigan Broncos, and then an interesting series in Oxford against the Red Hawks. They lost the first 3-7, won the second 10-5 in a 5-inning mercy rule, and then the third game lost 1-9 in another 5-inning mercy rule. So this is game 1 of 3 between the Cards and the Flashes, hopefully concluding today, but rain continuing to pick up around us. The last series for Ball State, they'll travel to Buffalo, New York to take on the Bulls and conclude their year. As for Kent State, they've had an interesting situation as well. They began the year by sweeping UMass, winning a series at Buffalo. They got swept by Miami, one of the top teams in the conference. In turn, they took out their anger on Bowling Green and swept them before getting swept by Akron. A lot of sweeps across the conference schedule for the Golden Flashes, but in that Akron series, they were outscored 15-37. They got swept by NIU, got swept in Athens against the Ohio Bobcats, but since then, a 2-game win streak, but none of them in conference play. They were wins in a doubleheader against Youngstown State. To conclude their year, they'll have their senior day festivities next week when they welcome the Western Michigan Broncos into Kent, Ohio. When we take a look at the big picture of MAC standings, you've got Akron leading the way at 17-4. They've won their last 2. Northern Illinois right on their heels at 14-5. 3 teams with 14 wins to this point. You've got the Huskies, the Red Hawks of Miami at 14-7, and then at 14-7 as well, the Ohio Bobcats, who've put themselves in a great spot. They've won their last 5 games. You've got Central Michigan right behind them at 13-7, respectively. Western Michigan on their heels at 12-9, and then the teams with losing records to this point. You've got Toledo at 9-12, Buffalo at 8-13. Kent State and UMass both at 7-14, Bowling Green at 5-15, and then right at the bottom is Ball State at 4-17. It's been a pretty tumultuous history between these two. Ball State in the past 20 years or so leads the Golden Flashes 18-16. The Cardinals have won their last 3. They swept the Flashes in Kent last year, but here in Muncie, the Cards are 10-9 in the last 20 years. Those last 3 games all came in dominating fashion. The first one, Ball State won in a high-scoring matchup, 16-15. The second one and the third, they were able to come out a lot better and be more stout on their defense. They won the second 14-1 in 5 innings, and then the third, they came out on top 12-6 through 8 innings of play. The Cards have won 9 of their last 13 against the Golden Flashes. With all this rain, there's no conversation to put a tarp on the field because it's simply turf. There's a chance you can just absorb that water and then play on, but there's a story from not too long ago here at Ball State where the Cards didn't have turf on their field, and they had to put a tarp in the infield. This was, I believe, last year, maybe 2 years ago, one way or another. So it goes into rain delay. The players are called out to bring on the tarp to cover the infield, and with the rain and the wind combined, they lost the tarp in the wind. It couldn't track it down, left the softball stadium. Everybody went flying to try and recover the tarp. Couldn't do it successfully, and the baseball players, who were also in rain delay at the time, were able to come in, grab the tarp as it was heading to Shrieve Stadium, and help the girls to bring it back to the infield, cover it, but it left some of the Cardinal squad soaked. They didn't end up playing in that one, but multiple players on this Cardinal squad have credited it as one of their favorite moments in their time here. It was a 3-3 ball game tied between the Cards and the Flashes, and got to take a look at Riley Miller and her stat line. She had quite the excellent performance in the circle. 6 innings of play, 7 hits allowed, just 3 runs, 3 strikeouts, and those last 2 came back-to-back to conclude the 6th inning and bring us into this delay. Only 1 walk as well. Did all this in 89 pitches, but in a game that we thought was going to include a lot of fly balls, Miller was able to force 10 groundouts across the board. ERA today of 5.2, and it brings her total on the year to 6.43. Great performance at this point from Erilyn Nogue. In her first appearance, she bunted her way to a single and then scored to be the first run for Kent State. Had great contact on one that Kelly, the center fielder for Ball State, had to receive at the wall. And then in the 5th plate appearance, she was walked by Grace Gray, first batter that the freshman lefty faced. And then through one action or another, a stolen base on 3rd, a bunt from Libler, and then a sacrifice fly from Shawless, it meant that Nogue scored to be the 3rd run that tied this game up. 2 of the 3 runs for Ball State came off of bombs from Ella Whitney in the 1st and 3rd inning, respectively. Both of them opposite field into right center, where Nogue and Porter couldn't get it over the wall. She has 2 of the 7 Cardinal hits today. Kent State, 5 hits total. And 2 pitchers in turn to Kent State's 1, but both of them doing great jobs in their own rights. Bridie Murphy pitched 4 innings and 75 throws, 4 hits allowed, 2 runs, 1 strikeout to 1 walk. She hit 2 people, faced 18 batters, induced 4 groundouts, 6 flyouts. Her ERA now stands at 4.64. As for Grace Gray, 2 innings of play, just 1 hit allowed, 1 run. That was Nogue scoring off the Shawless sac fly. There was 1 wild pitch from Gray. She also hit a batter, faced 8. Couldn't register a strikeout, but did get a walk in there. It's raining pretty hard at this point in Muncie. Now discussions begin as to if we conclude this game today and just wait it out, or continue on tomorrow and conclude it before beginning the doubleheader. But coming into this weekend with Senior Day festivities tomorrow, the dugout for Ball State was decorated with balloons and streamers and all sorts of party decor, but all of it getting pretty soaked in this one. Rain bouncing hard off of each dugout. Clouds have completely covered the sky. No chance of any sun poking out. It changed very quickly. And at the start of this game, it was a beautiful one. It was about 70 degrees. The sun was poking out through the clouds. As we check the weather one more time, heavy rain and a thunderstorm now projected for at least an hour. Per the good old trusty AccuWeather, saying it's going to calm down at about 8 p.m., but right now at 4:20 p.m., don't know if you really want to wait that long. Due up for Kent State, should they get the chance to bat again, would be Brooke Aberly, Erilyn Nogue, and Bryn Libler. As for Aberly, she singled in the the top of the second, struck out looking in the fourth. Then Nogue, 2 of the 3 Golden Flash runs. And Libler, she was having a great day. Didn't get on the bases at all, but had made some great contact to this point. She flew out to center, flew out to left, and then bunted right to Grace Gray, and she was able to make the move to Lindsay DeRook. As for Ball State, their next batters would have been the top of their order, Paige Kelly, Ella Whitney, and Lindsay DeRook. So Kelly, to this point, hitless in her 3 plate appearances. Whitney behind her is 2 for 3 with 2 homers, 2 RBIs. Then Lindsay DeRook has singled and doubled today. She also made great contact of a line drive right into the glove of Claire Hout. It was going to be a thrilling conclusion here in Muncie, but rain, as LJ said earlier, weather remains undefeated. We're going to step aside for just a little bit in this one. Again, with any updates that we have, we will relay it to you. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
So in the stadium, a few hundred feet our way, about northeast from us, Shebeck Stadium, where Ball State and UMass has been playing at the same time, their game was just officially called over public address. Again, the decision to not call this one just yet is because there's the doubleheader tomorrow. Do you really want to do 2 full games as well as an extra tacked-on inning all in one Saturday? Plus, you've got Senior Day festivities going on. It'd be a very busy and tiring day for both programs. So a reasonable concern, but with rain just increasingly harder and we see more and more thunder surrounding us, it does not look optimistic from here. So I would anticipate that Ball State and UMass conclude this first game tomorrow and then go on with their second game that was pre-scheduled for that day and do a portion of today's and then the full game tomorrow. As for the softball game, still up in the air at this point, conversations between coaches, SIDs, athletic directors, and a verdict still waiting at this point, but we're starting to see some Cardinals and Minutemen getting ready to head back to their cars and pack it up for the day. still awaiting a verdict at this point. Gonna step aside one more time as we still await any and all decision to be made. This SportsLink digital radio broadcast is presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. For your next new or pre-owned vehicle, drop by our showroom at the corners of McGalliard and Morrison Roads or visit victorymuncie.com. Again, victorymuncie.com.
Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. This is Hadassah Harris with CBS's WLFI 18, a proud SportsLink alum. Chirp, chirp.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
If any reference was needed as to how long this rain delay has gone on, we were getting ready to begin the top of the 7th in a 3-3 ball game between Ball State and Kent State, but rain delay was called at 1 hour 45 minutes into our broadcast here. Now, as I read our tally, we are at 2 hours and 38 minutes, almost an hour of sitting and waiting in this broadcast booth. And then try this for size. The first song to play during this rain delay was Purple Rain. And we've completed the rain delay playlist and are now back on Purple Rain by Prince. At least until Usher begins over the public address. You know, we talked about Super Bowl halftime shows at the beginning of this delay and mentioned both Prince and Usher and the lack of Justin Bieber in that halftime show for size. But trying to find ways to pass the time as we get a verdict in this one. Gives us a chance to look back at all the Super Bowl halftime shows in full. The first one between the Packers and Chiefs in Super Bowl I. It was the University of Arizona Symphonic Marching Band, as well as the Grambling State University Marching Band, and of course the Al Hurt Anaheim High School Anaheim Steppers Drill Team and Flag Girls. You know, they played the Sound of Music, played Way Down Yonder in New. They played the overture of William Tell. They ended with This Is My Country. How patriotic. The first true music act or notable artist to perform in a Super Bowl was in 1993 in California, where Michael Jackson performed. Set list included Jam, Billie Jean, Black or White, We Are the World, and of course he ended it, as any Michael Jackson concert would, with Heal the World. After that, there was a country installment with Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, and the Judds. The theme was the Rockin' Country Sunday in 1994. That would be Super Bowl 28 in Atlanta, Georgia, in the Georgia Dome. And then various artists and performances before that. In 1995 in Miami, Disney owned the rights to the halftime show, and they wanted to promote a new ride at Walt Disney World, so they had the Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. It was a musical and theater performance on the field of the Super Bowl at halftime. So there's a difference between a musical act and a show, and found it there. After that, it was the great Diana Ross in Tempe, Arizona. The year after that, quite the jump. You've got the Blues Brothers, Dan Aykroyd, John Goodman, and Jim Belushi coming on in New Orleans. That was the year Green Bay won the Super Bowl over the New England Patriots in 1997. Included in that set list, you've got greats like Soul Man, I Got You, the James Brown cover. Another James Brown cover of Get Up, I Feel Like Being a Sex Machine. And then Everybody Needs Somebody to Love opened the show. There was a salute to Motown in 1998 with notable artists like Boyz II Men, Smokey Robinson, Martha Reeves, The Temptations, and Queen Latifah. And Gloria Estefan and Stevie Wonder were able to come on the year after in 1999. Y2K, you had The Tapestry of Nations, starring Phil Collins, Christina Aguilera, Enrique Iglesias, Toni Braxton, and Edward James Olmos narrating. It's quite the interesting one in 2000. 01, the year after that, was one of the most interesting collaborations of a Super Bowl halftime show that we've seen. You had Aerosmith joined by NSYNC with appearances from Britney Spears, Mary J. Blige, and Nelly. Quite the combination there. It included a pre-recorded intro sketch with celebrities Ben Stiller, Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, Aerosmith, and NSYNC, I believe, through the methods of Saturday Night Live. And before then, or right after that, you had the great performance of U2, Shania Twain. In 2004, Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake, with appearances from Kid Rock and Nelly, among others. The year after, with Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson and their routine, the year after, they went with a little bit more soulful of a guest, that being the great Paul McCartney of the Beatles, and then the Rolling Stones after that. But then we reached 2007 in Miami, Florida, with the great Prince show for the Colts-Bears halftime show. And since then, it's been quite a lineup of acts. Tom Petty, Bruce Springsteen, The Who, the Black Eyed Peas, Madonna in 2012. Beyonce the year after that, Bruno Mars with Doo-Wops and Hooligans, and joined by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Katy Perry in 2014, Coldplay, Bruno Mars, Beyonce, Mark Ronson in 15, and Super Bowl 50, a year in 2016 that we chatted about as one of the best years of sports across the board. After that was Gaga, Timberlake had his solo show, Maroon 5 and Adam Levine sans shirt, Jennifer Lopez with Shakira in 2020, and then the pandemic year, one of the more interesting ones with The Weeknd. The year after that, the final year of the Pepsi Super Bowl halftime show before being turned over to Apple Music, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, 50 Cent, and Anderson .Paak to round out an illustrious lineup. Rihanna after that, Usher after that. Still no Justin Bieber in that one. 2025, 2 years ago, we had Kendrick Lamar joined by SZA and Samuel L. Jackson making an appearance, as well as Serena Williams as a cameo. Most recently, you had Bad Bunny, Lady Gaga, and Ricky Martin, but not much going on here at Ball State softball. after 6 innings of play. We've reached the point where going down the line of Super Bowl halftime shows. We are now at 2:45 on our broadcast time, so officially an hour into rain delay, and the weather is showing no signs of stopping. I'm going to check just one more time. Our outlook in this one, it seems that rain will continue for the next hour or so, but perhaps a spot of bright news. It looks like the thunder will begin to die down, so there's a non-zero chance that these teams could play through the rain. For the time being, though, we're going to step aside one more time. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms, so you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
Hey Cardinal fans, show your pride wherever you go with the Ball State Financial Debit Card, now featuring your favorite mascot, Charlie Cardinal. It's the perfect card for students, alumni, and lifelong fans, letting you show your Cardinal spirit with every purchase you make. And with Ball State Financial, you'll get all the convenience, security, and hometown service you deserve from people who love this community as much as you do. Explore the card in your hometown credit union at fcfcu.com/chirp. Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union.
Still awaiting a word here at Ball State softball. We've reached the point where starting to consider, bringing some food in, maybe a DoorDash order comes into play. It's been a longer rain delay in recent memory. 2 hours and 47 minutes later of a 3-3 ball game between Ball State and the visiting Kent State Golden Flashes. But rain, as I knock on wood, is considerably starting to die down. Baseball has officially been called for the day. They also have a turf field, but softball a little more reluctant to do so as they have a doubleheader tomorrow. Out comes Coach Pena from the dugout. A check of the phone, I believe, is now pacing her way to the Kent State dugout to have some discussion.
Behind every strong hip and knee. Behind every strong shoulder.
Good catch.
Behind every strong team is our highly skilled team of experts in orthopedics. IU Health is the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Ball State Athletics, and we're here to keep you moving. From acute injuries to chronic pain and conditions, go where the athletes go. Walk-in appointments for new injuries are available Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can always schedule a same-day or next-day appointment and wait from the comfort of your home. Visit iuhealth.org/MuncieOrtho to learn more.
Hey Cardinal fans, this is Connor Onion, play-by-play broadcaster with Fox Sports, and I'm a proud SportsLink alum. You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. Chirp, chirp.
So a bit of an update here from Muncie, Indiana. Rain starting to die down. It looks like it'll be complete in about an hour. The question is whether or not we see some thunder in that time. Rain will be off and on for the next 45 minutes or so. But after taking a gander at NCAA rules, 3 games in one day, even if it's just a portion of the game, cannot happen. It is deemed illegal. So to have even just 1 inning and then the doubleheader quite literally cannot happen by the rule book. So the hope is to take care of this game and get that last inning going once the rain dies down. and it becomes safe to play on the surface once more. But it looks like it could be a long wait, because you would rather have just a couple hours or so of delay and then finish up the game, or in turn have to reschedule for some other time. You could keep Kent State here on Monday. That's not ideal, or try and reschedule it some other time. But Kent has Western at home to close out the year. Ball State has Buffalo in New York in their last series, so it would just be a nightmare to try and schedule traveling and figure all of that good stuff out. All of the logistics of it could be quite difficult. So it seems like the verdict is they will do their best to get this last inning down when there's a moment of safety, but it seems like it could still be quite a while before we get to that point. But like I said, as we get updates, you will as well. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, I like it. So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip.
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
We do have one more update from here in Muncie. It seems like the projected time to continue play will be 5:03 p.m. Time to try and get that last inning in. At this point, the clock reads 4:41 p.m., so in theory, if all goes well, it will be 21 minutes until we are back in action in this one. But both teams will be coming off a lot of waiting. Neither will be warmed up. In a high-stakes 3-3 ball game, higher stakes for Kent than the Ball State Cardinals at least, but a game that either team certainly wants to win. Then you have to factor in, at this point it's a tied ball game heading into the last inning. If both teams go 3 up, 3 down, or runs aren't scored for whatever reason, it would mean that we'd have to try and beat out extra innings to get this game done today. But again, 3 games can't be played in one day per the NCAA, so it's not something that you can just move to tomorrow, play the last inning, and then go on with the doubleheader. So just waiting out this one to this point. 4:42 p.m., now 4:43. We've got 20 minutes and a dream in Muncie. I'm going to step aside one more time. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Hey Cardinal fans, show your pride wherever you go with the Ball State Financial Debit Card, now featuring your favorite mascot, Charlie Cardinal. It's the perfect card for students, alumni, and lifelong fans, letting you show your Cardinal spirit with every purchase you make. And with Ball State Financial, you'll get all the convenience, security, and hometown service you deserve from people who love this community as much as you do. Explore the card in your hometown credit union at fcfcu.com/chirp. Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union.
You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. This is Jared Matheny with Summit City Sports and Indiana Tech Athletics, a proud SportsLink alum. Go Cards!
A sign of good news from Ball State softball. Again, we mentioned that the projected time to get back going is at 5:03, 19 minutes from now. Ball State players have officially returned to their dugout, as have Kent State's players. So could be a chance to start warming up and get back in play, but you're still waiting for that decision to be officially made. And after a game like this, it'd be certainly worth the wait. The Cards and Flashes tied up at 3-3 after 6 innings of action. The projected pitcher for Kent State would be Riley Miller. As for Ball State, it'd be the true freshman, both true freshmen, I suppose. For Ball State, it would be the left-hander Grace Gray. Thrilling conclusion ahead of us that seems to be able to get done today, but any wood in the area we're knocking on. Cedar, oak, pine, whatever it may be. Anything to give a little luck on our side and get through this one. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. GameBridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive car dock maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paintwork on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
Back here from Ball State softball, and at this point, the projected time about 5 o'clock p.m. Clock reads 4:48, but in the time filling of the dead space, we've brought on one of the creatives of Ball State Sports Link, Nate Locker, to the show. Nate, how are you on this fine rainy evening?
Pretty wet. Came back from class, not thinking that it was going to rain. I thought the rain was going to hold off, and I can say I was wrong about that. So.
What class was that?
Media Law with Terry Heifetz, the great Terry Heifetz. It was we had our debates today, which was very fun. We prepared for the wrong side, so we kind of just off the cuff improv'd it, you know. So yeah, it was an interesting day, you could say.
Well, I'm glad you have some experience with improv and free balling, because that's kind of what we've been doing for the past hour plus during this rain delay. And I gotta ask, in that dead space, how have you been filling that time?
Let's see, what have I been doing? So I had to leave for class around the third inning before Eloise hit her her second homer of the game. Sorry.
Yes.
So I left right before that. Went to class, walked back, and then I think it was probably around the start of the rain. I don't know how long it's actually been raining. So went home, got a change of clothes so I wouldn't be as drenched, and now I'm here. Went to the store to get a few things too.
What'd you get at the store?
I forgot.
You know, that's okay.
I got some beverages. Got some drinks for non-alcoholic drinks for a party tonight.
Nice. Awesome. That sounds like so much fun. Nate, we've been going on and talking in lengths about Super Bowl halftime shows in the past and kind of ranking where they are. You know, it started with Purple Rain being played as soon as the delay began, and My contender for the greatest halftime show of all time has to be Prince. But with you coming on the mic, I got to ask your opinion.
All time?
All time.
I have to agree with Prince. I don't think you're going to get anything better than Purple Rain in the Rain at the Super Bowl.
I agree.
I mean, have you seen the Michael Jackson one?
I have.
That one is, I think it's hilarious because the story behind it. Have you heard like the story behind it, which is crazy that he's just like pops out, stands there for like 2 minutes, dead silence, and everyone's still cheering and like out of breath. That's just the spectacle of Michael Jackson. I don't know. I feel like I'm not as well researched and educated on past halftime shows. I've definitely been more on the recent kick. My personal favorite of like the recent ones, I think Rock Nation has been the one in charge of getting these. My personal favorite is Shakira and J-Lo.
Really?
I think that is the most cultured. It was fun the entire time through, electric. Like, it's not going to get more energetic than that, I think. I think in terms of the last three that have happened, I think have been a lot of commentary, which I think is great. I think all of those were fantastic. I think the reason J-Lo and Shakira stick out to me is because I feel like it was a perfect blend of just upbeat fun and then also still having that kind of message of like embracing their kind of heritage, embracing that aspect. And I think that year was in Miami. Am I crazy about
I think so.
Okay.
I believe so. At a Hard Rock Stadium.
Yeah. So I think all together, I'm like, it's a perfect conglomeration of just everything happening right and being executed very, very well. So,
and those two exhausted themselves
at
the end of the show.
Because they're both like, what, 34? They're 40.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think J-Lo was 40 at the time of the
which
halftime
is
show.
Insane. I mean, if you want to talk about impressive performances, Rihanna being pregnant.
That's amazing.
And performing a halftime show is wild.
And what a way to announce it.
Well, yeah. Like, you could go on and on about.
So, Nate, I understand that you have some experience in diamond sports. How often would you say you had to deal with the rain delay, and what did you guys do in that free time?
Too often. I mean, I would say the big thing, like, number one, thank the Lord for turf fields, especially, like, the fact that this game can still even go on. If we were, 2 years removed from now, this game probably wouldn't continue because the field wouldn't be in a condition where we could. So, number one, that is a Midwest blessing. What would we do to pass the time? It varied with however old we were, and like I know when I was a lot younger, it was kind of like nothing. I was like a shyer kid. Like I didn't really do much. I was too locked in.
Sure.
Around, I have a video somewhere in my phone. Around 13, 14, that range. I remember we played tic-tac-toe with the other team on a baseball. So we had like a ball that was waterlogged, which is just like it gets too much water in it. It's heavy and it's not really good to use.
Sure.
And we got a pen, drew tic-tac-toe on it, and back and forth played tic-tac-toe with the other team, which was fun. There were other times where my dad was my coach for a long time, and he was very upset that we did this. But the fields were like drenched, so like we probably weren't going to continue anyways. We might have actually continued, which is wild. But we ran out to like where second base was, where like a lot of water was, and like slip and slide like slid down there.
Justin Fields?
Yeah, yeah. Wow, what year was that they did that?
For the Bears, 2021.
2021?
It was the season opener against San Francisco at Soldier Field.
Yeah, like that type vibe. We did that at second base during a rain delay, and needless to say, my dad was pissed. Like, he was very upset that we did that. He's a very no-nonsense type guy. I thought it was hilarious, but yeah, he was not too happy. Other than that, I don't know. There hasn't been much that, like, we do. It's tough, like, to just do anything. Like, it kills the vibe because on one hand, you want to still be like somewhat focused if the game continues, but you also have no idea when that is. You want to still be able to have fun and have energy where you're not just sitting around doing nothing. I probably watch a few movies during a rain delay. I'm not gonna lie, which is a good way to pass the time. I'm sure that wouldn't have been bad during this one. It's been however long, probably hour at least. So,
Nate, what's the last movie you watched?
The last movie was it? The last movie this is the last movie I watched. Train to Busan. I watched, so on the way to Vegas, where me and Amadou got our BEA award, I watched going there, I watched 3 movies. Coming back, I watched 2. Coming back, I remember Train to Busan in 1917. That's right. Which Train to Busan is wild. It's a Korean film, I believe. It's really good. It's a zombie apocalypse type movie that all takes place on a train.
Okay.
So essentially, there's some disease that is plaguing, the world, or at least that area.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is doing is people are just passing out and then turning into zombies, and it's like zombies that my concept of zombies is very weird because we're in American culture, zombies are very lethargic, slow, moving. These zombies in this show are aggressive, twitchy, fast. It's scary. So it's like a horror film that all takes place on a train, and the main character of it is this dad who essentially is built up to be not a great father, not really present for his daughter, and his daughter wants to see her mom for her birthday. And he's like, I want to see mom. And he's like, no, you're going to stay here. The reason, I'm blanking on the reason why, but he ends up taking her to her mom, which is in Busan, the place in this city. I don't know if that's a real place or not. They go on the train, and then somebody on the train is infected. And then, as you know, domino effects to others. There's the idea of, is this person bit? Are they not? So if we're in a bit, people get separated. So it's okay, you got here, but did you get bit in the process? Are you going to turn? Because if one turns and you're in the room, you're not in a good spot. So I 100%, if you have, I believe it's on Netflix. It might be gone, though. But if you have Netflix, I would check out Train to Busan. I would look that up if possible. Yeah, I've been on a pretty decent movie streak. Another good movie, if you want, this is very much on the other end of the spectrum. If you want a movie that's going to make you cry, watch Train Dreams. It was nominated for Best Picture or Best Actor?
I couldn't tell you.
One of the two. But it is a phenomenal movie. It's a period piece of I think World War I era for the most part of it. And the concept of it is so simple. It is this guy who doesn't have a lot of money. He chops wood for money.
Does he carry water?
Well, all right. We're not at baseball. This is softball. But he chops wood to get money to provide for his family. It's him, his wife, and his daughter. And it's kind of built up that he loves his family more than the work. And I'm not going to spoil this one because I feel like I want people to feel the emotional impact of it. But something happens, and it is an emotional ride the entire rest of the way. It's deep. It cuts deep. It also, I looked this up afterwards, it's shot with very minimal lighting. It is basically entirely naturally lit. Because most of the shots take place around dusk or dawn. It's very golden hour feel, and it's impressive the shots that they get because it is a beautiful film. But yeah, if you want something a little bit more emotional, go Train Dreams on Netflix, I believe. Also, I wish I could think of some on other platforms, but I'm blanking right now.
No, you're all good. I'm kind of a little shameful that I just now watched it for the first time, but last night I did finish Pulp Fiction.
Ooh. That's a good one.
A very great Tarantino movie.
Fantastic, yeah.
Really just excellent dialogue from top to bottom.
I mean, that's what I am, despite how controversial Tarantino is just as a person and figure, he is a brilliant writer of dialogue.
Yes.
It's amazing, like, seeing, like, one of my favorite movies is Inglourious Bastards. I have, like, a hat. You've seen it. It's an amazing film, and it's part of the Tarantino-ness of it is a lot of people complain you're not getting a lot of action. I want more action in movies. Tarantino creates such a masterful piece of work, and then at the end it's just a bloodbath. For regardless of what film you watch, it's just beautiful dialogue, beautiful scenes, beautiful acting, and then chaos, which is incredible. Very different from another modern great, Christopher Nolan. I feel like he relies a lot more on this building of his character and their motive. That's where their two senses of dialogue I think are very different, because I think Nolan has a very good idea of the concept of what he wants to convey. You look at and I think he just happens, people understand he's brilliant with that, and then actors come to him. You see Heath Ledger's Joker performance, Cillian Murphy's Oppenheimer performance. Yeah, all of those characters come to him, but he has the idea set. He knows the motive. He knows kind of the world around it, and he's such a good world builder, and he just happens to get a lot of people that want to work for him, which is where you get that emotional impact. Tarantino, on the other hand, is I know what these characters are. You are not changing what these characters are. And I think there is a brilliance in that as well, because he's been able to craft who these people are so well, and it is notorious that he's what I write, you are going to say. It's very similar to theater, where I have a lot of theater friends being in improv, and I've learned this a lot. Movies and TV, there's a little bit more freedom to go off script, right? You see shows like The Office, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Those shows are very, you can improv with each other. Even other TV shows that might not be more comedic, there's a lot of room to just improvise and kind of know your character enough and kind of say what they would say. In theater, this was written for a reason. These words were written for a reason. The way you deliver it could be maybe a little bit different, but these words you're going to say, because these words add to the plot, that you're not changing that up. And I think Tarantino leads more to that theater aspect, where Nolan allows kind of that freedom of his actors to work and thrive, because he's built this world around them. He's letting them understand who their characters are, and there's a lot more flexibility. So I think it's beautiful in both ways. Again, I think even when watching the movies, Nolan's very much it's big, it's a spectacle, where Tarantino, it's very surgical. It's very intentional in what he's doing. Minute, yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned the intentionality of and contrast between the two directors. But I got to ask, you mentioned you got some non-alcoholic beverages for a social gathering or whatever sort that might be. Is there anything going on tonight?
ABSO Senior Show. If you are in the Muncie community and you're looking for some laughs, come to the ABSO Show at 7 p.m. at not Teachers College. Arts and Journalism Building, 175. We'll have a great time. We'll celebrate our seniors. I think there's some stand-up that they'll be doing, so who knows,
When it comes to non-alcoholic drinks, I know you're over 21 and don't have to worry about any of that sort. When it comes to non-alcoholic drinks in a public space, whatever it may be, is there one that you particularly go to?
I don't know. Not really. There are, it's kind of the vibe. I feel like I have ones that I typically go to. If I'm looking for something that will feel more light, it'll be a Sprite, Starry, whatever you want to call it. or like a ginger ale. If I want something that's a little like, if it tastes a little bit more like heavier, I don't know how to explain it, but like heavier than it's like, your Pepsis. I mean, I'll always, I had 2 boxes of Capri Sun that I went through like crazy. Which we need to bring Capri. It doesn't matter how old you are. Capri Sun is amazing.
That's a good take.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't have a particular one. I will say I am Team Pepsi over Team Coke. Yeah.
How about coffee?
Oh, yeah. Don't get me started on coffee.
Well, we've got time to fill, Nate.
I mean, I'm
glad we're doing this. This is great.
I'm glad we're doing this because now I get to talk about coffee. Most people won't know. I have had a mission. I've kind of been slacking on it recently. I got to get back on it.
Jeez, man.
To complete the entire Starbucks menu, I am like probably 15-ish drinks away from doing that. Don't ask me how much money I've probably spent on it. It's too much.
That was my next question.
I don't really want to know that answer.
Do seasonals count?
See, this is the problem. This is where things get weird because Starbucks changes its seasonal menus so much, even year to year. And it's like also some of the drinks are basically like, for example, the protein drinks that they added. I don't know if they're still even out. It's the same drink with protein in it. I don't want, there's a reason you get that. It's for the added protein, so I don't feel like I need to try it, even though it's its own drink. There are some, seasonal stuff where it's like, it feels very similar. And then also, this is the one that's, if I wanted to go really crazy, this would be a whole other thing. But being from Chicago, I'm sure as you know, the Starbucks refinery is there.
Yes.
Which is the world's largest Starbucks.
Yes.
It is like a 3-4 story Starbucks establishment. You can get coffees. I think you can get like alcohol and stuff on like the second floor.
I want to say
you can
so,
get
yeah.
food. Like it's like a restaurant almost. So they have their own drinks that are only there and not at a different place. Do those count? Because the accessibility of them is so limited, where it's like.
Well, I mean, because you're from the Chicagoland area, I could make an argument. Whereas somebody from Florida or down on the coast, that doesn't necessarily have as close of a distance to those resources.
Sure. But I'll raise you this. How often am I in the Chicago area, given that I'm in Muncie? I might go home for, Christmas and then Thanksgiving and whatnot, and I'm only there for a couple of days. So with that, and I'm not going to be there over the summer, so it's like, where does that count or come in? I do think, however, if this is in Philly, which is where I will be this summer, there is, I think I've told you about this, there is a Capital One Cafe.
Yes.
Which, if you've seen the commercials for like Capital One Bank, they've mentioned this, and it seems like it is a joke. It is a very real thing. I went there in Houston with my mom. They gave us free drinks on the house, like whatever coffee, beverage we wanted on the house, and then gave us another voucher for another free drink wherever we went. Which is wild.
That's hospitality.
Exactly.
Was it good drinks or just?
They was pretty good.
All right.
And you can, there are a handful of them. They're not everywhere, but they are, sporadic across the U.S. And it's pretty good. You can also go in and get, I think, free financial advice. There are people that study there too, who are by nearby universities. It's pretty interesting. I would recommend go there, just check it out. If you're by a Capital One Cafe, I think if you just look it up on the website, it's an interesting ordeal.
Speaking of interesting ordeals, Kent State Golden Flash is heading back to their dugout. Bridie Murphy and the catcher Allie Noble about to get warmed up in the Cardinal bullpen. So we're getting ever so close to the thrilling conclusion of this one. Ball State 3, Kent State 3 in game 1 of 3. Nate, before I ask you to depart, one final question. Sure, it might be something on your mind.
Cards by a million.
What? Well, there's that too. What's a hot take you have that you are willing to die on a hill for?
Hot take. I don't know if I have. Well, that's a lie. I definitely have some hot takes. But
It's hard to think of one on the spot.
Yeah.
I've got you. If you want, I can go first. You mentioned the protein in Starbucks coffee, and this might be a hot take from my end. I think that protein is important and it's valued and it has its place, but I think we're starting to go down the route of completely overdoing it.
100%.
You've got all sorts of foods
100%.
that now the selling point in the calling card is that it has 4 grams of protein per serving, 8 grams of protein, where in the grand scheme of things, that's not really going to do much. You know, if your goal is to get beefed up and get all strong and have all your protein, a snack that has 4 grams isn't going to be the separator between being jacked and otherwise.
For sure. I totally agree. Yeah. I can't think of one right now, but that's a good one. I don't know. I can text you if I have one, but it's just not coming to me right now, and I'm really upset about that.
That's all right. Hey, Nate, it's been such a pleasure to fill this time with you.
Absolutely.
Ball State players back on the field. The top of the 7th about to be underway. We're going to be joined by LJ Shrieve once more in just a moment. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
At 1 hour and 37 minutes into our broadcast, we officially went into rain delay. Now the time reads 3 hours and 22 minutes, almost 2 hours in between. But guess what? We are back in action for the thrilling 7th inning between Ball State and Kent State. It's Brinkley Kita on the mound for her first and hopefully only inning of play for Ball State. As for Kent State, it is their 9-hole hitter, Brooke Aberly. Kita, a junior from Crown Point, Indiana. She has the team's best ERA to this point. Her second pitch, a strike to make it 0-2.
A lot of confidence in that walk back to the circle. 2 strikes to start this one. The wind all over the place. Conditions changing every second. So each pitch will be dealt on its own. You mentioned Aberly. Yet to really find her rhythm today. Shows bunt and will pull back. She's continued to do that in this at-bat.
The 1-2 in the dirt. Kita pats her chest, and it's a 2-2 count for Aberly. 25 walks on the year, 26 strikeouts for the junior Kita. It's a 2-2 count. We are back in action. LJ, it's good to hear your voice again and get the chance to call this job.
Right with you, D-Bud. It's
swing and a miss. Aberly is out, and that's going to begin the 7th inning. We're back to the top of the order with Erilyn Nogue and Bryn Libler up.
It's been a good one. We talked about how competitive and back and forth it was through 6, and here, top of the 7th, what both these teams are hoping to be the final inning. And I think we can say the same with weather continuing to move around us. But right now there is that dry spell and cleared up skies here in Muncie, Indiana.
A 5-7 overall record for Brinkley Kita. She has 1 save on the year. If Ball State can shut the door in this half inning and then come back, it would give Kita her 6th win of the year. Digging in is Erilyn Nogue. She has 2 of the 3 Golden Flash runs and now faces a 1-1 count with 1 gone. No defensive replacements for Ball State to this point. Strike 2 now.
The Flashes, every pitch matters for them as they hope to keep their season alive as they are just right outside the MAC tournament right now. Each and every pitch matters. This game matters. They are hoping to get this one under so they can still play that doubleheader tomorrow.
This one slapped by Nogue, but into the Flashes dugout foul. Still no sign of Riley Miller. We expect her to complete this game in full, but I would think you'd see her warming up in the pen. Not yet. She has a number of warm-up pitches in the circle beforehand. Maybe she'll use those. The 2-2. This one over the head of Ramos and into the left center gap. Picked up by Kelly. Nogue's going for 2. It's a stand-up double with 1 gone. And the go-ahead run is on second base.
Nogue continues to be so strong for the Flashes. The first hitter in the lineup getting on base consistently. This time she doesn't need a steal to get to second. A stand-up double, as you said. So fast turning those bases.
She singled in her first AB on a bunt, flew out to center in the second inning, and in the 5th was walked and was able to score on that one as well. Now Kita stares down the 2-hole hitter Bryn Libler. She's been batting .297 this year and is hitless in this one. She's made great contact with flyouts to center and left, but after a long delay, the Flashes hope she still has that. Here comes the 1-0, down low and picked up by Noble.
Noble continuing to just use her mobility to her advantage. Some of these pitches just getting away, staying low, and with that wet turf, you never know how that's going to come off the hands from the circle.
This pitch outside to make it 3-0, but tensions beginning to flare in each respective dugouts. We also see the sun poke out for the first time in a couple hours. It's a little brighter over here on the field. The 3-0. It's called a ball too high from Kita, and 2 runners are on for Callie Shawless.
19 in the Cardinal and white started hot and looked confident. Since then, Nogue with that nice stand-up double and then a walk right there.
So it'll be Callie Shawless. She singled in her first plate appearance. Since then, a fly out to second and a sac fly to the right fielder Haley Urban that brought home Nogue in the 5th. She watches strike 1 go by.
After 4 straight balls, that strike is a big deal. You stand in that circle all alone, a lot of pressure here in the 7th.
Shawless shows bunt. Pogue to DeRook. And out number 2, is now executed by the corner infielders, but it brings up the cleanup batter Megan Clairhout with 2 runners in scoring position.
Nogue being on third base, always dangerous if you let a pitch get away from you. Nogue has that speed to go home and give Kent State their first lead since the first inning.
And Clairhout has just 5 strikeouts on the year, the lowest across both of these teams. So Kita, it's going to be hard to promote the swing and miss from Clairhout. And with that, any ball in play could prove to be catastrophic. This one from Clairhout, a comebacker into the netting, and puts us at 1-1 with 2 gone and 2 ducks on the pond. Nogue at third, Libler at second. Kita rocks and fires, breaking ball into the glove of Ramos. Can the throw be made in time? The stretch from Rook gets it to go. Brinkley Kita, little trouble, but able to shut the door and puts the Cards in a position to walk it off. Due up, Paige Kelly, Ella Whitney, and Lindsay DeRook. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Hey Cardinal fans, show your pride wherever you go with the Ball State Financial Debit Card, now featuring your favorite mascot, Charlie Cardinal. It's the perfect card for students, alumni, and lifelong fans, letting you show your Cardinal spirit with every purchase you make. And with Ball State Financial, you'll get all the convenience, security, and hometown service you deserve from people who love this community as much as you do. Explore the card in your hometown credit union at fcfcu.com/chirp. Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union.
Hey Cardinal fans, this is Connor Onion, play-by-play broadcaster with Fox Sports, and I'm a proud SportsLink alum. You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. Chirp, chirp.
So it will be Riley Miller to pitch a complete game for Kent State, one where she's only allowed 3 runs through 6 innings of play. Brinkley Keita comes in the 7th with no time to warm up and shuts the door on Kent State. 2 runners in scoring position. And now pinch hitting for Ball State is Jess Hoffman. We saw her in the batting cages earlier before the delay, getting ready for a potential opportunity. And after Paige Kelly couldn't get a hit down, in comes Hoffman to try and bring it home. Hoffman, one of the seniors on this squad, would be a nice way to bring in senior weekend. She faces a 1-1 count.
You always do wonder, coming out of a delay, especially one that, is longer than 90 minutes, how hot will the bats be, or will it just be the bats aren't even hot, but the pitches are just so off? And really that first couple plays for Ball State on the defensive side, they got through it, but it was a little shaky right there. First out for the Flashes.
Hoffman showed off her speed with her outfield experience, but instead gloved by Gabby Quinn on a short hop. And here comes Riley Miller's nightmare, Ella Whitney. 2 homers today, 2 of the 3 Cardinal runs. And she swings on her first pitch. Drifting back is Libler. Right on the foul line, she makes the grab. And with 1 out to give for Ball State, there is a non-zero chance we see this go to extras, LJ.
DeRook up to bat now for the Cardinals. She's the one that stretched out on first base to make that play and end the top of the 7th for the Cardinals. Now she has an opportunity to walk this one off.
After the rain, there's no more wind in this one. Inside out swing, caught by Libler on a diving extension. And LJ, after waiting almost 2 hours to get this game back going, we get even more softball. Extra innings coming up. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Riley Miller of Kent State goes 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 7th. No walk-off at this point for Ball State. Still a 3-3 ball game. We are in the top of the 8th. And the Flash is getting ready to bat. Ashlyn Porter, Gabby Quinn, and Leilani Johnson will all dig in at this point. SL Digital broadcast, Dylan Budd, LJ Shrieve alongside is now eclipsed over 3.5 hours of game and delay action on this one, but we're certainly more than excited for the thrilling conclusion.
This game's been back and forth. You look at all the stats, and they are so similar. Obviously, it's tied at 3, but then even hits-wise, 6-7 in favor of the Cardinals. And so, even though they lead those hits, you have seen Kent State just put batters and base runners in scoring position, and so they look to do the same here. They left 2 on base to end the top of the 7th, runner on 3rd and a runner on 2nd. They look to bring those home. in the top of the 8th.
Kita's first pitch was a strike, as is the second to Porter. But Kita, we mentioned before, showed a little bit of trouble in the top of the Flashes order. Had runners on 3rd and 2nd, 2 in scoring position, and the cleanup batter, Clarehouse, couldn't get it done. That's big from Kita, and now hopes to ride that momentum. Her 3rd pitch is outside. It's a 1-2 count. The 1-2 from Kita to Porter. A panic swing tapped foul. She at first showed bunt. Showing bunt on a 2-strike count. Interesting decision. Porter, 2 years at Campbell University before coming here from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. She slings it to Ramos. Ramos to DeRook. Yet another stretch, and she gets the out in time. Porter beside herself. She's going to stay on first and challenge the call. So we will officially be under review. It was close enough that Porter immediately tapped her head in protest. Had a look at Coach O'Donnell. Coach O'Donnell said, yeah, try it. So we will go under review. And waiting in the wings with us have been this officiating staff. At home plate, Gary Wells. Third base, Philip Troutman. And then at first, Brian Howard has had a couple close calls today.
Yeah, and those aren't easy ones to make. Being an umpire is not for the weak, let me tell you. It is not an easy job. It takes a lot of confidence to be able to make a call just off what you just saw in that. If you miss it, you can miss it with a blink of an eye. And so a lot of credit to them challenging the call at first. Weather looks like it still is in the surrounding areas, and so it'll be interesting to see how much more time do we have out here on the turf, especially with the challenge being called. Obviously, it's extremely important to get this call right as we are in extras, but that does tick time away at live play. And so always an interesting thing to keep an eye on when weather is in the area and you're in extras, and this game means so much to Kent State in their season in hopes of extending it.
That's the thing. There are so many variables in this one. Could be the difference between a win and a loss for Kent State. Could the time in between psych out a pitcher or a batter? Due up for the Golden Flashes, Gabby Quinn as well as Leilani Johnson. Good to see Johnson back out there. She got hit pretty hard in the chest in the 6th inning. That brought her down for a minute before trotting to first and was replaced by Miley Anderson as a pinch runner. Johnson will stay in to bat. But certainly a longer review at this point as that replay booth is set up near the golf cart. Hopefully it's not wet from all the rain that went on recently. So a decision is made. Our friends in blue come back out. Big implications on this call. And here's the call. The runner is out. The throw to DeRook was in time after a great stretch. But Ashlyn Porter couldn't leg it out.
Brian Howard now 1 for 1 against the challenge. Solid work at first base.
So it brings up Gabby Quinn with 1 out in the top of the 8th. Quinn was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning, and then 2 outs after that. 1 an unassisted putout to Lindsay DeRook at first. The other one, a deep fly out to Peyton Kelly. She faces the 0-1 from Kita. Slow breaking ball. Just touched too high, and the count is even at 1s. A check of the wrist for Kita. They swap out Gray, the lefty, for Kita in right. This one tapped inside out swing in foul territory. 3 different Cardinals tried to scamper after it. None could collect.
A lot more speed on that pitch than the previous 2. First one was a strike. Second was a ball. Both of them just a little off speed, a little slower. That one, a lot more gas behind it. And contact was made, sent out of play.
This one tapped down the third base line, but rolls foul before reaching third. So we take a look at the batting cages for Ball State. Grace Spencer, the senior outfielder, warming up for a potential opportunity for a pinch hit like we saw with Jess Hoffman earlier. So it's 1-2 to Gabby Quinn. Chance to get back on the bases. A big check. The call to first. She didn't go around. We play on 2-2. That's another close call that could have had quite heavy implications.
Good patience at the plate. She knows what's at stake. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, and an opportunity to give her team the lead.
The 2-2 smacked in the 5-5 hole. Ramos collects the stretch to DeRook. A great extension, but this time the Flashes redeem and a runner's on.
Another close one at first. A lot of confidence behind the call. I think that one was correct. Double play opportunity here for Ball State, but then also runner on first and Johnson back up to bat.
So it is Leilani Johnson. She's gotten hit in her last 2 plate appearances. The middle infield shifts in. Like you said, the double play is now in order. And Brinkley Kita, a ground ball pitcher, hoping to go to her bread and butter. The 1-0. Breaking ball in for a strike. It froze up Johnson. Kita, a high raise and then fires. Another breaker, freezing up Johnson, just enough to fall into the zone. And the pitcher's ahead at 1-2. The runner on first is Gabby Quinn. Doesn't take off. It'll go to Ramos. Ramos to Cullen. Cullen to DeRook. And they turn the double play to shut the door. Brinkley Kita with another gem, and we stay at 3-3. The second time today the Cards have a chance to walk it off. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Today we have 2 very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So we could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
We just saw in the Cardinal huddle, the assistant coach Matt Burns calling all of his players together to have one last motivational speech, one more, get it together. This is a chance to bring it home. Sure, they're not playing for anything, but they're still fighting with every breath they have.
And why wouldn't you just gather your team real quick, make sure you're on the same page in a moment like this where you can get this game done, and then come into tomorrow, the doubleheader with such momentum. And you have senior day on top of it, senior weekend, you could say, if you include today. It is a huge opportunity to get out of this one.
First for the Cardinals is Skyland Pogue, but on deck, pinch hitting for Megan Ramos will be Grace Spencer. First pitch to Pogue is down low for ball 1. Pogue hitless today. Her first could be big. The 1-0, she taps it down the third base line into the hand of Matt Burns in that third base coacher's box. Pogue spent 3 years at Iowa before coming here, a resident of Eureka, Missouri. The 1-1 to her. In the middle of the gap, the diving extension from Libler isn't enough, and the winning run is on base. Now the decision for Coach Pena is, do you throw in a pinch runner? It appears Pogue will stay. And pinch hitting, like we said, will be Grace Spencer, the senior outfielder.
Once again, Libler really reaching out. We saw her keep this game alive for Kent State earlier by making a diving catch, that time just out of her reach. But as weather continues to inch closer, this game, just each pitch means more and more.
Spencer showed bunt on her first offering. It was outside for a ball, but these corner infielders are crashing in anticipation. Spencer, a redshirt junior from Highland Park, Illinois, one of the members of this softball leadership council. She squares around one more time, and the catch is made. It goes into the glove of Shawless. No, check that. It bounced first. I thought it was almost foul tipped into Shawless, and that would have been a back-breaking out. Instead, it's 1-1.
It did look to be that way, but like you said, they did catch a break.
Miller keeps trying for the high heat. Doesn't get the chase from Spencer. She's squared back, and it's 2-1. The winning run, Skyland Pogue is on first. Here's the offering from Miller. This one tapped, a pop-up in the infield. Trevena is under it. Pogue back to first and one away. Unsuccessful pinch hit for Grace Spencer. It brings up Ava Colin, another player who's been hitless in this contest.
This is similar to what happened on the other side. The Cardinals had one out, and they were going against a runner on first.
A liner right into the gap between the infielders. A base hit for Ava Colin, and her first hit of the day proves to be a big one.
I was about to say, you know, that double play could be there, but that one just gets right over second base, and the Cardinals catch a break. Obviously now it'll remain there, but having a runner on second, only one out, there's a lot to work with there.
So up next is Haley Urban with a chance to bring it home. Runners on first and second, one away against Riley Miller. First pitch down low, and Urban is ahead. Urban, heading into Senior Day weekend, has a chance to walk it off in her senior celebration. She watches an outside one. It's 2-0. And now for Riley Miller to be behind in the count. This could prove to be catastrophic for the Flashes. Here comes the 2-0. Urban taps it high and over our heads, past the press box, and the first strike of the count is tallied.
Good cut right there. Just unable to get the contact that she wanted. A lot of power behind that swing.
Pogue on second, Cullen on first. One gone, tied ball game in extra innings. That pitch inside, and it's a 3-1 count to the 7-hole hitter, Haley Urban. On deck would be Allie Noble. Noble has singled and tripled in 2 of her 3 plate appearances. The other one was a strikeout looking. The throw is outside from Miller, and the bases are loaded for Allie Noble. The winning run is at third, but for Kent State, the one saving grace is it means there's force outs everywhere. Riley Miller has had 12 ground outs today. A 13th would have a chance to keep this game going. The infield in for Allie Noble. Her first pitch past the glove of Trevina. Coming home is Skylin Pogue, and the Cards win on a walk-off. Allie Noble, your hero. Through 2 hours of rain delay, through extra innings, Allie Noble brings this puppy home. Cards win 4-3.
An impressive one. Dylan, bases loaded, first pitch, gets it over and through the Cardinals with the momentum win heading into tomorrow's doubleheader.
The redshirt sophomore, the winning RBI single. It was Skylin Pogue that trotted home from third base. And in a game where Ball State found themselves down 2-0, had a solo shot from Ella Whitney, one more in the third, an RBI by Ashley Lovett, and then the winning play, Allie Noble RBI single right over the head of the shortstop Trevina. As the fight song plays, we're just under 4 hours of a complete broadcast. LJ, this has been a marathon of a game, but well worth the wait.
D-Bud, all the credit goes to you for keeping those entertained through the delay. Having special guest Nate Locker, who's making sure to get all the shots from the excited players on the Ball State dugout. But yeah, what an exciting one. A phenomenal game, especially through those first six. And then we get two innings that were back and forth. But the Cardinals end up getting the best of the Flashes and walk out of here with a Friday afternoon win.
Games 2 and 3 will be played tomorrow in a doubleheader, but Ball State takes the first and is on pace to win their first conference series of the year. Allie Noble is your hero. A liner in no man's land into the outfield that brought home Skylin Pogue. The winning pitcher, Brinkley Keita, 2 shutout innings that kept the Cardinals in it. That's all we have from here in Muncie, Indiana. The Cardinals beat the Golden Flashes 4-3 in 8 innings. For LJ Shrieve, I'm Dylan Budd saying so long from Muncie, Indiana in this one. Thank you for listening. We will see you on the flip side.
This has been a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.